fix this. We're gonna fix politics tonight. Tonight we're gonna fix politics. That's the goal. The goal this evening is to completely fix politics. With that being said, guys, send your daily heart me. Send your daily heart me. It's only one coin. Also, if you are interested in joining the panel discussion, go ahead and get in the box. It doesn't matter. You don't have to be quote unquote opposition to be in the box. If you're somewhere on the left, someone on the right, we're looking for everyone to join. I'm going to keep resetting the daily gift goal to these little 1 cent gift goals so it can push us out to the FYP. And we're going to go ahead and get started. And let's go.
Yeah, this ain't your regular panel. Nah, we speak the truth. Late nights with Santana and Mama Jones watching. Better keep it clean. Let's go. Late nights, truth in the convo. Everybody get a seat at the table. From the block to the books, we mindful. No screaming, just dreams in the Bible. One mic, one voice, we build bridges from the heart of the hood to the world's big issues. Politics, pay, different cultures. But the real ones listen before they rebuttal. Late nights with Santana. Yeah, Mama Jones watching, so keep it grown. Ain't about flexing, this a purpose zone. Santana hold it steady when it might get hot. But we ain't here to fight, we here to connect the dots. Yeah, late nights with Santana. You already know. Late nights with Santana. Late nights, no static. No highlight reel, this the soul's reflection. No shade throwing, just connection. From streetwise truths to deep reflections, we turn hard talks into blessings. They say they run a game, we build new rules. We here to heal, uplift, and break the old rules. They kept us boxed in, divided by fear. But you find us lined up when the truth appears. Yeah, weekly topics, hearts wide open. No judgment, just motion. Real ones are talking, no cussing. Cause Mama Jones still watching, no fronting. Yeah, late nights with Santana. You already know. Late nights with Santana. Late nights, no static. Yeah, Mama Jones watching, so keep it grown. Ain't about flexing, this a purpose zone. Santana hold it steady when it might get hot. But we ain't here to fight, we here to connect the dots. Mama Jones watching, so keep it grown. Ain't about flexing, this a purpose zone. Santana hold it steady when it might get hot. But we ain't here to fight, we here to connect the dots. Weekly topics, hearts wide open. No judgment, just motion. Real ones are talking, no cussing. Cause Mama Jones still watching, no fronting. Yeah, late nights with Santana. You already know. Late nights with Santana. Late nights with Santana. You already know. Late nights with Santana. Late nights. Late nights with Santana. You already know. Late nights with Santana. Late nights.
Hey, welcome in, guys. Welcome in. If you're just joining the stream, go ahead and hit that like button, like the stream, tap the screen. Let's go ahead and get the likes up to 25,000 likes. Let's get the likes up to 25,000 likes. Also, I'm going to keep resetting the daily gift goal to these little 1 cent gift goals so we can get push out to the FYP. I'm going to go ahead and start bringing people in. And as we bring people in, I want to try to get balance on the panel. Just an FYI, I'm looking for balance on the panel. So as I bring people in, I'm going to check with the people that I bring in on the panel, because I want to make sure that we get a opportunity to speak to people that are on the left and people that are on the right. We want to make sure that we have an opportunity to have a real fleshed out conversation. So with that being said, if you are someone that normally votes on the left, someone that normally votes on the right, someone that wants to have this conversation and wants to talk about how we fix our political system, because it's broken. It's broken in multiple ways. And even more so, I think we miss the fact that the way that politicians weaponize I don't necessarily want to call it the hatred. I think there's a lot of manufactured hatred between us in order to keep us from realizing like the actual problem. But regardless, we're going to go ahead and get into it. So if you're interested in joining the conversation, go ahead and request up. I'm going to go ahead and start to bring people in. Also, make sure you're a United States citizen. Like I see someone with like a Canadian flag in their bio. We're only talking to United States citizens. So make sure that you are a United States citizen. I'm going to bring people in one at a time just because, like I said, I want to try to get balance. So I don't want to necessarily bring all the same people in. Waylon, are you someone that normally votes on the left or the right?
Well, in my life, I've gone both ways, but I think culturally and societally, I've just kind of stayed more conservative. That's more of my roots, but I've seen both sides. So,
Okay, perfect. In the last election, which way did you vote?
I voted Trump this time around, so I was going to get a lot of flack, but
Okay. Oh, yeah, all right. Perfect. Thank you so much. Give me a second here, okay?
cool.
And if you don't mind, mute yourself for me just for a moment, please. Let's see here. Lisa, how are you?
Great. How are you?
Wonderful. Lisa, are you someone that has voted, or are you someone that normally votes on the left or the right?
First time voting was like 3 days ago. I voted left.
Okay. All right, perfect. Give me a moment here. Let's see here. I can tell the people that I have in the box. Is there anyone else in the box that is someone that normally votes on the right? I know we have a bunch of people in the box that normally vote on the left. And again, I want to make sure that we try to get a little bit more balance. Oh, okay, perfect. 1 second here. Hey, Darby, how are you?
Doing all right. How are you?
Wonderful. And you said you're someone that normally votes on the right?
Yep.
Perfect. Give me just a few more moments here, okay?
All righty.
All right. Is there anyone else? Yeah, just Alpha, I know you. That's why I'm holding off. Anyone else in the request or down in the chat that normally vote on the right? I would love to get at least one more person so we can have a little bit of balance. Again, I would really like to be able to have this conversation with people that are on the left and people that are on the right, not just one side. So is there anyone else in the request that's on the right that would like to join the conversation? And Darby, if you don't mind, can you mute yourself for me, please? Oh, thank you. All right, I'm going to go ahead and bring, let's see here. Carol, are you someone that normally votes on the left or the right?
The right.
Okay, perfect. Give me just a moment here. If you don't mind, would you mute yourself just for a moment?
Yeah.
Perfect, thank you. All right, awesome. All right, let's do this. Hey, Blue Nurse, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Wonderful. You're someone that normally votes on the left, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay, I remembered you. Perfect. And let's see here. Just Alpha. Hey, how are you?
Hello, I'm doing good.
Wonderful. And just Alpha, can you tell the people I know, but can you tell the people, are you normally someone that votes on the left or the right?
That is correct. I am a registered Democrat.
Perfect. All right, guys, give me just a few moments here. All right, guys, for everyone that's still in the box, I promise you I'm going to rotate people in and out as much as possible this evening because I want to make sure that we have the ability to have this conversation. And even more so, I want to make sure that we are really giving everyone an opportunity to speak. So if you are in the request right now, hold tight. I promise you I'm going to get you in, especially the people that I know that are always active participants in our community. I promise you I'm going to get us in get you guys in as soon as possible. All right, guys, before we get started, just a reminder for everyone on the panel. Guys, please use TikTok friendly language. What does that mean? That means using words like pew pew, unalive, C19, mustache man, all of those things that not only protect your TikTok, but it helps protect the live. Also, I want to remind everyone that this is a safe and friendly community. What does that mean? That means that we don't deal with any of the isms, racism, sexism, classism. We also don't do any of the phobias, homophobia, transphobia, none of that. We don't play that on the panel nor in the chat. And speaking of the chat, please be mindful. Caps are for mods. Please do not use caps because it will pull my attention away from the panel and to the chat. And we really want to be able to have that conversation. With that being said as well, guys, continue to do all the wonderful things. Tap the screen, share the live. Let's go ahead and get the likes up to 50,000 likes. I'm going to keep resetting the daily gift goal to the little 1-cent gift goals, and it'll help push us out to the FYP. Send your daily heart me if you have not done so. It's only 1 coin, and it'll help boost the live as well. Last but not least, we do have a nightly donation goal of $250. If you guys would like to support the live, you can do so. Cash App, PayPal, Venmo, all of the pay links in the link tree in the bio. Santana Speaks for You. Santana Speaks for You is the best way to support the live. Everything is accepted. Anything's appreciated. If you're over on YouTube, you can send a super chat and I will read that out. All right. Perfect. Let's go ahead and get into it. We're going to go around the horn and do a quick introduction. Waylon, I'm coming to you. Waylon, I've been starting off with this question every night as we've had this panel discussion. And the question has been, do you think that there is a deepening divide within our country? But Waylon, I think the bigger question is, do you think we can actually fix the deepening divide in our country that has been created by our political views?
Not through politics. It's got to be from.
No. Hold on. Don't tell us yet. That's a teaser. Stop. Save it. Because I'm coming right back to you and I'm going to have you explain that. Okay. Perfect. Give me a second here. Darby, coming to you. Same question. The divide is very visible within our country. Left versus right, blue versus red, Democrat versus Republican, liberal versus conservative. People are at each other at all times. Do you think this is something that we can actually fix?
I think I just got to go with what Waylon said. It ain't going to be fixed through politics.
Okay. Darby, serious question for you, and I just want to make sure that I get this out the way. Are you a troll? Because this is an actual serious panel conversation. If you're here to troll, I would prefer to go ahead and move on to someone else so we can have a real conversation.
Well, I'm here to have a serious conversation, man.
Okay. All right. Perfect. Give me a moment. Lisa, as a newly minted voter, as someone who seems like you're just now starting to embrace the American dream, do you think that we can actually fix the deepening divide within our country?
No.
Okay. All right. Give me a second.
Well, not now, at least.
Okay. Give me a second. Nurse Blue, how are you?
I'm great.
Good. Nurse Blue, there is a lot of back and forth. There's a lot of worry. There's a lot of angst, and people are blaming each other. Left is blaming the right. Right is blaming the left. The government shut down. Can we fix the deepening split that is occurring in our country?
I think that we can, but I think it's going to get worse before it gets better.
Okay. All right. Give me a second. Carol, how are you? Carol, are you there?
Move on. I'll be back in a second.
Okay, no worries. I'll come back. Just Alpha.
Yes.
You are someone who is you're actually doing the wonderful things when it comes to actually trying to support our country, trying to help our country, you're trying to serve our country. As someone who is putting themselves on the front line and looking to do so, you are someone that is you're supposed to be someone to help everyone. Is there a way to help everyone heal as a country?
There absolutely is. And before these gargantuan in scale, before these gargantuan protests have taken place, I honestly thought to myself, wow, like how in the world are we going to ever be able to recover from this? And the answer was just staring right in front of my face. Is just
okay. Well,
together.
wait. Don't give
Community.
the answer. Don't give the answer yet.
Sorry.
Don't give the answer. All right.
But yes, I do believe that we can fix things.
Okay. Perfect. Give me a second here. Carol, when you are ready, just drop something in the chat and let me know, and we'll go ahead and get started. Okay.
Okay, I'm sorry. Somebody came in.
Okay.
Oh, look, everybody's saying that I'm a troll account. Shut the fuck up, you stupid bastard.
Carol, the actual divide in our country is starting to grow, and you have people who don't necessarily see the actual seriousness of what's happening. You have a lot of people who lack the ability to actually address the moment. And it's going to take all of us to do it, but do you think it's something that we can actually do?
We have to. We have no choice. We have to. Otherwise, it's going to destroy us.
Okay. All right. Perfect. Give me a second here. Hey, Gene, how are you?
What's up, Santana?
Gene?
Yeah,
the country's divided. The people are hurting. Everyone is looking for something. Can we actually find a way to bring people together and help people who are at each other at all times?
I think what we've shown as a country is that we can eventually progress. It just takes a lot longer than it should. But in all honesty, I think the main thing is it's going to have to be the MAGAs hitting rock bottom with their choices and dealing with the ramifications of what they did to the country for us to be able to progress forward. I think they're going to have to, face head first into what they did.
Okay. All right. Give me a second here. Charles, how are you?
Good.
Charles, are you someone that normally votes on the left or the right?
On the left, fully on the left.
Okay, perfect. Give me 1 second. So it looks like we lost some of the other people that were this on the right. And again, I don't want this to be a situation where there's just a bunch of people on the left talking about this. I want us to be able to have a real panel discussion, an actual real conversation. So if you're someone that normally votes on the right and you're in the request, please let me know. I will bring you up. We are definitely looking to have a more fleshed out conversation. So again, if you are on the right and you would like to join the conversation and you're not a troll account, please request up because this is an important conversation. Charles, I'll go ahead and ask you the question as well.
Okay.
Do you think that we have the ability to heal as a country?
I think it's going to take a long time. I'm like 72 years old, and I've been through presidential assassinations and senator assassinations. So I've been through a lot more difficult times than right now. But with this regime that's in power, it's going to be difficult, and it's going to take a very long time, I think, to bring us together.
Okay, perfect. Give me a moment here. And Charles, I'm going to place you on mute as we get going. Sure. And I actually want to start with Carol. Carol, yes. I want to come to you first because you are someone who in the last election has voted on the right. And Carol, it seems like when it comes to Donald Trump and the quote unquote MAGA movement, or the people that have recently voted on the right, for me, I saw a shift in more so people who were upset with certain things that were happening in the country, and not just like this past election, but growing since 2000 and I'm gonna say like 2014, people who felt unheard, or for one reason or the other did not necessarily feel embraced and were looking for something. And with that being said, Carol, as someone who votes on the right and someone who has supported this presidency and and has seen like the differences that are occurring in our country. My question to you to start this off is, what do you think that it would take for people on the right to want to actually heal the deepening divide with the people on the left?
You know, it's in my opinion, and I'm 78 years old, so I've been through a lot of this too.
Mm-hmm.
And you, just like I've heard on the panel tonight already, it's all right. It's all their problem. MAGA needs to get themselves up, this, that, and the other.
Mm-hmm.
That's where it has to. There's no coming together when you think that way. It's Donald Trump is flamboyant. He's a whole different animal, and he really he doesn't do things in the right way necessarily, but he's trying because he knows he has a limited amount of time, and he's trying, in my opinion, to do as much as he can, and he's doing it too fast. I will agree with that, and it's coming across not very good at all. And everybody, they make up all these statistics and everything, and the Democrats can come up with it, and then you got one from the Republicans. And I listen to the news on both ends, and they all sound reasonable when you hear it.
Mm-hmm.
But in my opinion, this administration has been more open. I've seen more about what's going on than I ever did before. And I have always had the opinion that politics are corrupt. And they are from the very core. We need to stop that.
Do you think that I know that you said you've always thought that politics are corrupt. Do you feel like this iteration of the Republican Party is corrupt as well?
Well, of course, it's on both sides, but take a look at your Democrats are sitting there.
Wait, no, hold on 1 second, Carol. I just want to. I only want to stay on the Republican side, and just an FYI for the people on the panel as well. And this is just letting you know the way that I plan on starting this. I don't want to hear about the opposite side when we talk. So when I come to you, for the people that are ready to say it's the left and you're on the right, or the people say it's the right and you're on the left, we're not talking about the opposite sides just yet. We're going to deal with where we stand, and then we can blow it out. So we're only going to talk about where you align at first, and then we'll continue to talk. Anyway, sorry. Go ahead, Carol. The right currently.
I was going to go to the point that if you look at the right, they don't vote necessarily. They have more in this administration than ever before, but there's a lot of free thinking people on the right, and they've not always been just the one lump. If somebody dictates them what to do, they do it. And that's why I've respected the Republican Party. Don't always agree with everything, but that's the way I feel.
Okay. All right. Perfect. Give me just a moment here, Carol. Okay. All right. Charles, I want to come back to you. Charles, you and Carol, I'm gonna mute you. Okay. Charles. Again, you are a man of a certain age, and you've seen a lot of, like you stated, presidents. You've seen a lot of politics. You've seen a lot of life, and you're someone that has seen the ups and downs of the Democratic Party. And it seems like the left at the moment seems to be struggling on multiple aspects, whether it's the ability to connect with their voter base, the ability to embrace certain members of their party, whether it be like Zoran Mandani or AOC or even Bernie Sanders. And then even more so, they seem like they have the inability to win the PR battle, right? You take a look at like the people that they have currently with Chuck Schumer and Hakeem Jeffries, and they just don't have the it when it comes to being in front of the camera and actually getting their message across. My question to you, Charles, is this iteration of the Democratic Party effective enough to actually lead, not only lead in the sense of like connecting with the people that they want to earn votes from, but just lead in a sense of like the entire country if they do attain power? Charles, are you there? Charles, I'm going to send you a request to come off mute.
I'm back.
All right, there we go.
Yeah. Yeah. I think Trump's time is limited by his health and.
No.
Okay.
Charles, did you hear what I said?
Yeah. That's fine. No, I won't mention him. But yeah, I think that I follow AOC and Bernie Sanders, and that whole iteration of the Democratic Party. My whole family follows AOC, and my friends. Some of my best friends are totally with them, and I think that having grown up in the era, also of the Vietnam era, and seeing the similar things, the draft and everything, and having have a number in the draft. That I've seen a lot of that, and I think that I just think that AOC and Bernie have the right idea. They speak out pretty strongly. Chuck Schumer is too old. I mean, he's just kind of, he's kind of I think lost touch a little bit, but he's been there too long. And I think that AOC and Bernie's a little old too, but he's got the right idea, and he's kind of works with AOC a lot. So that's what I think.
Okay. So it sounds like you're saying that you don't think that the current structure is the right way to go, and there is definitely a need to shift.
Yes.
Okay. All right. Perfect. Give me a second here. Again, guys, if I'm looking at the box, and there were a couple of people that it looks like they normally vote on the right, but they're no longer here. If you're someone that normally votes on the right and you want to join this conversation, go ahead and request up, or either drop in the chat and let me know that you're someone on the right, and I will bring you up again. Make sure that I want to make sure that we have the ability to have a real fleshed out conversation, and without multiple sides or both sides being able to actually speak, then we won't be able to actually get to where we want to go. So please request up. And again, this is a panel discussion. This is not a debate. You will get an opportunity to speak. It's an actual opportunity for us to hear each other. So keep that in mind as well. All right. Gene, I want to come to you. So I know you're younger, and even more so, your actual political life has been one that has been marked by leadership. That you've seen some of the most amazing moments of the Democratic Party with, electing the first ever Black president in Barack Obama, but you've also seen twice before the Democratic Party lose to someone who a lot of people feel like was the most unpopular candidate when running for the first term, and then someone that people felt like necessarily wasn't a great president at all running for the second term, but they still lost, right? And with that being said, that speaks to the inability of the Democratic Party. What do you think is needed from the Democratic Party to fix not only messaging, but the approach that they take to engage with all Americans, not just a certain subgroup of Americans?
That's my issue, is that first off, we always mention messaging when it comes to the Democratic Party, right? Like, that's a big problem. But as far as going to all Americans, I'm still of the opinion that the Democratic Party tries to placate a little too much to everybody on both sides, and they need to fight fire with fire and go harder in the paint. Like, not necessarily go full on dirty, but if the other side is going to get in the weed, get in the grass with it, the Democratic Party needs to meet them where they're at. And I think the unwillingness to do that does a disservice because it's showing a weakness, honestly.
Okay. All right, give me a second here. Blue nurse, coming to you. Blue nurse.
Yes.
And I'm going to take this literal and assume that you're an actual nurse, right?
I am.
Okay, perfect. So as an actual nurse, you treat people regardless of who they are, right? You don't worry about like, oh, you're a Republican, I can't treat you. You're a Democrat, I have to treat you. You're someone that takes care of people, and also you're someone that helps heal people. With that being said, the country is hurting. People need healing. What's the path forward, and how do you see the Democratic Party being the actual people to help create that path forward?
Well, I kind of agree with the last person that said that Democrats, we have been too nice for too long. And I think what's happening now, with the shutdown and everything, I feel like they're finally standing up and saying we want to stop the hurting before it starts with the healthcare crisis. I mean, I would treat somebody whether I'm going to get paid for it or not. I don't know, in a hospital or a doctor or anybody that would ever turn anybody away that was sick or injured. And I really think that I'm going to say something about Republicans, and I'm not supposed to say that, because I think that people are getting the message that they're fighting for health, insurance for illegal or for undocumented immigrants, and that's not what's happening. It's as bad as our healthcare system is right now. It's about to get a whole lot worse. And I think that what the Democrats are doing right now is the right thing. I don't think they need to vote for that CR until the Republicans will talk about that, because it's going to be catastrophic if what's about to happen with our insurance happens. It's going to be really bad. And I know that we all need to work together. But I think Democrats are willing to do that. I think Democrats are willing to do it. I think they've been trying to get the other side to work with them for a long time, and it's my way or the highway. And I think that's coming from the very top. So.
All right. Well, again, we want to stay away from the right at the moment, but I appreciate that. I do think that there's a lot to be said about that. And I think taking a stand for the American people is the most important thing. And it's interesting to hear people say who's actually taking that stand. But perfect. Give me a second here.
Thank you.
Christian, just to check in with you really quick. Are you someone that normally votes on the left or the right?
Normally on the right, to be honest.
Okay. All right. Perfect. Just Alpha, I'm going to come back to you in just a moment here. Christian, I want to check in with you really quick. Christian.
Yes, sir.
Current standing, in your opinion, of the Republican Party, right? Do you think that the current iteration of the Republican Party has the ability to lead the country? Because you take a look at what's happening, right? And you can talk about the recent election that just occurred. It seems like there was an overwhelming amount of support for the left in response to what was happening on the right. But you also take a look at like recent polling, and it shows that a lot of things that are being done are deeply unpopular, and people are blaming the actual current Republican Party.
Yeah, true.
Do you think the Republican Party has the ability to hear the people, take in that actual feedback, and respond in a way that would be positive for all Americans, not just whoever they think should be making the decisions?
Honestly, my opinion on this is, oh man, it's tough. It's tough because like me personally, I'm not affected by it. You know, I'm not a federal worker, and I'm not losing any SNAP benefits or anything like that, and I'm not getting directly affected by it. But a lot of people that I do know, and just as a patriot, as a patriot as a whole, I don't want my country and the citizens of my country hurting. So my opinion, my stance on this is that um, if there is an issue that needs to be talked about and needs to be settled, then I do feel um, like 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 it needs to be like sat down and be talked about, because all in all, uh, the whole issue that we're arguing here, or supposedly, which we all know. So before I go too far, before uh, the issue that supposedly we're arguing about is healthcare, but the healthcare that we have in our system right now is the Affordable Care Act, which is completely unaffordable.
Mm.
And yeah, and so you have the Republicans in one space, in one space, saying, okay, you want the Republicans to fix the Affordable Care Act that the Democrats put in place, that no Republicans voted for, but yet you're willing to hold the government hostage, like literally, bro.
Okay,
Like,
whoa,
look,
hold on 1 second, Christian. We don't want to go too far down the
yeah,
road. We want to stay where we are,
okay,
and we're specifically talking
okay.
about the current leadership within the Republican Party.
Oh,
Um,
oh, yeah, 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 yeah. Okay, okay, okay. Like I said, I just came in here recently, so I don't know exactly what the backdrop was to it.
Yeah, no
I mean,
worries,
I
no
can,
worries. We're talking
yeah,
about the deepening divide within our country and the push between left and right, and then even more so
yeah,
tonight is going to be a heavy focus on how do we actually address that divide and start to
yeah,
fix the actual problems. And at this
yeah,
moment, at the very least, the boundary I've set is for people on the panel. They don't get to talk about the opposite side at this moment. We're only
yeah,
talking about the side that we vote on. So
yeah.
okay,
True, true. Okay, okay. Let me
perfect.
let me let me let me get back in them lanes.
No worries. Give me
Okay.
a
So
second
look.
here. I'm gonna come back to you in just a moment. Okay.
Okay. All right, brother. Thank you.
Perfect. Thank you. Just Alpha. Just Alpha. Coming to you. I want to know the Democratic Party, in my opinion, seems unable to meet the moment. And the reason why they're unable to meet the moment is because the current iteration of the Democratic Party fails to listen to their constituents. They fail to actually engage in the things that they say that they want. Do you think that's something that would keep them from not only ultimately regaining power, but ultimately doing something good for all Americans, since they're not necessarily receptive to what even their constituents want?
Honestly, just a couple nights ago, really, there was literally a seismic shift in political power, as in literally, you could not have asked for a better night with regards to left wing politicians. But
Mm-hmm.
back to what your question was based on, yes, there are a lot of what we like to call the quote unquote. There's the quote unquote
Mm-hmm.
establishment Democrats versus the far left leaning. You can say leftist, liberal. It doesn't really. People oftentimes use the terms interchangeably. Whatever. I digress.
Mm-hmm.
People like Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, Bernie Sanders, Zohran Mamdani,
Mm-hmm.
they are far left-leaning individuals. And Adam Mockler actually made a really good point that I didn't really think about. For example, a Zohran Mamdani is not going to appeal to, let's say, those in the constituents in, let's say, a state like Kentucky or Indiana. It's just not going to work. It's just too far to the left. But in order for Democrats to meet the moment and actually listen to their constituents, they need to understand that we're not just statistical numbers. They need to, in order for them to win and to gain our votes, they need to stop treating us like numbers and dollar signs and instead more so legitimate people who have felt like they've been abandoned.
Yeah, I agree. I think that there is, I think that's the point behind the political system as a whole, right? I think that a lot of people get into politics just to make money, and that's where they get away from being servants of the people, and they start to serve their own interests. And I've always said this: until we actually get money out of politics, there is no path forward to getting any type of real, legislation or anything that will benefit everyday Americans, because they're going to continue to serve themselves. So I agree with that. 1 second here. May, how are you?
Hi, Santana. I'm good. How are you?
Wonderful, wonderful. May, are you someone that normally votes on the left or the right?
I'm on the left.
Okay. May, if you don't mind me asking, how old are you?
Oh, I'm 25.
You sound young. Perfect. That's where I was going.
Yeah.
May, you are the future, right? More than me, because I'm 38, but you are younger. And right now, this political system that we live in is being dictated by people that are not only 2 times older than you, but 3 times older than you, right? I mean, we have Nancy Pelosi, who just announced that she will not be reseeking her election, and she's 85, right? Donald Trump, the head of the Republican Party, is almost 80, and a bunch of politicians all fall in the same realm. They're all older, and they're making decisions for your future when they won't be around to see your future. Hell, a lot of them might not even be around within the next 10 years. The question I have for you, as someone who is younger, someone who is currently voting left, what would you like to see from your party to make a shift to not only thinking about the present that we're in, but also the future that you will be a part of?
I definitely think that technology plays a really big role in that. I just don't think that people, and I'm not trying to throw shade to like the older generation whatsoever, but like media in the way that we see it today is very different than it's been in the past, and it's a lot easier for misinformation to spread. And I think that I would like to see a bit more understanding towards the younger generation, and I don't know. I think that there's more of a class divide than anything.
There absolutely is.
Like college is more expensive than it's ever been. Rent, everything, and I think that there's a misconception about my generation that like we don't want to work, we're lazy, we're obsessed with like our appearance. And I just think that I would love to see more people standing up for like, or really acknowledging things like climate change, things like how dramatic the divide in politics has been, and acknowledging that those things are like really having an effect on my generation.
Yeah. No, I completely agree. And I think there's a need to do just that. There's a need to address those things, no matter if it's left or right. There's a need to address all of those things, because those are real world impacts that a lot of people are dealing with, and we got to figure that out. Okay, perfect. Give me a second here, May. Debbie's in the chat for Gene, who's on the panel. Gene sent a dollar donation, said, if you ever run for office, I'm there day one. You're amazing. You'd be amazing. First and foremost, I'm not running for office, but I appreciate that. I don't think I could do it. I don't have the chops or the patience. And I would cuss someone out. Anyway, W's in the chat for Gene. Thank you so much for that dollar donation, guys. That means that we are only $249 away from closing out our nightly donation goal. There's 736 people hanging out here. We can definitely knock out our nightly donation goal. If 249 people send $1, we can close it out. Cash App, PayPal, Venmo, all the pay links and the link tree in the bio. Santana Speaks for You. Best way to support the live. Everything's accepted. Anything's appreciated. If you're over on the YouTube, you can send a super chat and I will read that out. All right. I'm going to shake this up. I need everyone on the panel to be ready because we're going to take this in a different direction. Our current political system sucks. It sucks. It doesn't matter if you're a Democrat or a Republican, if you're a conservative, if you're a liberal, if you're on the left, if you're on the right. It sucks. The structure that's in place is corrupt. The people in power are corrupt and incompetent. And I'm not just talking about the Trump administration. I'm talking about the actual Democratic establishment that's in power. They're incompetent as well. Both sides of the spectrum have no idea, or I don't even want to say have no idea. They have no interest in actually helping the American people. And it doesn't matter if your party's in power, they're still not the party to actually do anything good for people. And my premise goes back to the amount of money that's in politics. And you can talk about the amount of money that Nancy Pelosi has made over her entire career as a politician. You can talk about that Donald Trump has made billions of dollars since regaining the office of the presidency. You can talk about the fact that most politicians go into the public sector for a certain amount of time and then head into the private sector to make a ton of money. Regardless of what you're talking about, the political system sucks. Now, I've had many conversations with people who fancy themselves to be accelerationists, right? Accelerationists, meaning that they want to burn down this entire system in order to build a new one from the ashes. They want to destroy what currently exists because they think what exists or what would rise from the action would be ashes would be way better than what exists now, even though there's going to be a lot of pain in order to get there. Now, while I don't necessarily subscribe to being an accelerationist, I do subscribe to their overall theory that we need a complete shift. So the question I have for the people on the panel is, what can we do to actually overhaul where we are right now? And I'll throw a couple of things out. Ranked choice voting, term limits, age limits. All of these types of things should be instituted within our country because we don't have proper representation. We need to abolish the Electoral College. The Electoral College is crap. Stop giving votes to land and give the votes to the people. Also, maybe we should look at an easier way to remove politicians that aren't serving the needs of the people. Why should you have one politician that represents Iowa that's keeping the entire country from being able to have universal health care? Just because people in Iowa likes this person. So those are some of my thoughts. But Carol, I want to start with you. what do you think we can do that would shift not only our current political system, but give us an opportunity as a whole to have a better society and a better country?
Well, you have some points, but it's never going to happen because Congress votes on the term limits. They vote on salaries. They vote on so many things that affect all of us, but they're the ones in control. It's like the fox in the henhouse.
Let me ask you this follow-up question then, because that's the thought process that so many people have, right? So many people subscribe to that same theory that you're saying, Carol. Well, they're the ones in charge, so we can't get it. But the Constitution says we the people, right? Like literally, they're supposed to be public servants. They're supposed to do the things that we want them to do. So if they're not going to do the things that we want them to do, then what do we do?
Well, if they were doing that, which they're doing it right now, we still really virtually have not done anything with them. It's just kind of like it's by your vote, but that doesn't work because of the Republicans are in because of the popularity, and mostly because the other side was too, can you say woke? They were pandering to such a small amount of citizens, which nobody really had any issues other than you just don't need to blow everything up and change the whole system of schooling and so forth just to accommodate those certain folks. But, we voted and supposedly we got to give it a chance. And you're dealing with a man that's not a politician. And that's why he wasn't so successful in his first term, because he went in there and he didn't know how it worked. He didn't get in the game. And I've been hearing him for years talk about things that were wrong with the tax systems, and many years ago when he'd be on some shows and stuff. So it's nothing new for him to want to make America do better. And I really think he's sincere about that. He has, he
So
does have a.
let me hop in for a second and ask you this. So I disagree with you, right? And going back to a couple of things that you said in the sense of like, the Democratic Party has pandered to things that are, only something that a small group of people want, or it's, woke or whatever. But like some of the policies that they have spoken to is widely popular with all Americans, right? You can take a look at the Affordable Care Act, right? Not only is the Affordable Care Act overall widely popular with all political sides, right, Republicans and Democrats, but like the subsidies that are up for renewal is something that people want to see in place. You talk about SNAP benefits. While people may talk about like, oh, it's not a great thing, but when you actually look at the polling numbers, the people who actually believe in the benefits think that it's a good thing. Some people may disagree as far as how they're divvied out, but overall they think it's a good thing. What I'm saying is there's a lot of things that the left support that overwhelmingly is looked at as a positive. But my point being is the things that we should have as a society, those things should be accessible because we are the richest country on earth, right? So we should have access to universal health care. We should have access to everyone having food security. We should have access to everyone being able to actually get educated. And we can get those things, but not with our current political structure. Carol, did you see the fact that Elon Musk just signed an agreement with Tesla to actually earn $1 trillion?
No, I saw something about a pie. So much of these things these days, you don't know if it's true or not with the AI going on, but something about pie and a telephone deal. I don't know if that's true or not.
I'm not sure what that is, but yeah, today he signed his package agreement with Tesla. He's staying on as the CEO of Tesla, and part of the package deal is that he's going to earn $1 trillion.
Well, that was encouraged.
The question I have, though, Carol, is how do we live in a world where someone can earn $1 trillion, but we don't live in a world where everyone can just go to the doctor and get health care when they need it.
You're absolutely right. But when the Affordable Care Act was put in, it was supposed to be different. It was supposed to be everybody had to be on it. And it was supposed to, and they could have worked on, they never worked on, and it just got more expensive. I had many, many friends. I was retirement age, I think by that time. Didn't affect me too much. But so many of my friends, their premiums went way, way up and their deductibles went way up. And I definitely understand because I've got family members that are receiving hospitalization care and so forth and with zero amount of premiums, and they're getting health care. And I appreciate that, but it needs to be figured out. And we were supposed to do that, as I understand, with this CR. We were just going to go on and we were going to go in there and they were going to whack it out, but they didn't. And now we're doing this, but there's things in there, there's common sense all through that.
And
Riddled
Carol,
through everything.
I don't want to go, too far into the current state of politics and talking about a CR or anything like that. But I want to, again, I'm specifically sticking with what we do know, right? And what we do know is Elon Musk is on pace to make $1 trillion. But at the same time, we have unhoused veterans who are losing access to health care because of our entire political system. I'm not saying, oh, it's because of the right, oh, it's because of the left. I'm saying it's because of the political system that we live in. Why is there such an imbalance?
Do you think Elon Musk is making money? He's earning that money. What's he doing wrong to earn the money? And he puts the money back supposedly. So many of rich folks, it takes them to give and make employment for people. I don't know why it's so much money. I don't know, but you can't take it away from them. They earned it. They work for it, just like we all can. I mean, it doesn't seem right.
Do you think everyone has the ability to earn $1 trillion?
Well, heck no. I'm not saying that.
Okay.
But most people have the ability to earn, to earn. And some just don't do it because they've been on the dole for so long, they have no initiative to do it. And when you let them go, when you let them keep going and going, they grow up in decades from one generation to the other. And I've seen it. I've been looking at it. I was never aware of it before because I was out there. We were working. We were self-employed, and I didn't see all this. And I see it now.
Okay.
Because I see that sign.
Hold tight for me just a moment, Carol. I'm going to come back. I want to introduce a new person, and I'm going to pass it around the panel just a little bit more, but I'm going to come back to you, okay?
Sure.
Right. Thank you. Josh, how are you?
Good. How you doing, man?
Wonderful. Josh, are you someone that normally votes on the left or the right?
Currently, I am someone that will vote on the left.
Okay. Perfect. And I'm going to come back to you, but I do want to ask the question. Do you think that there is an actual way to save this current political system, or do we need to look at scrapping the entire thing and finding a new way forward?
I think there would be a way to save it. I mean, we have to reach a common ground, I feel like. But I feel like, because I watched Dean and Parker a lot, and I just think that I don't think we're going to be able to reach common ground sometimes.
Okay. All right. Perfect. Give me a second here. A couple of quick thank you guys, and then May, I'm coming to you. W's in the chat for Bear. Bear sent a $5 donation with the thumbs up. Bear, I appreciate you so much. Thank you so much for the $5 donation. W's in the chat for Cam. Cam sent a $5 donation saying towards the nightly goal. Thanks for all that you do, Cam. Thank you so much for not only that, but thank you for being here and being a part of our community and being awesome. You're really appreciated. W's in the chat for Latricia, who sent $1.11. We're going to round that up to $2 because I'm not going to do the math on that and put stars. I guess that's like what they call an angel number or whatever. I don't know. I don't do magic. Thank you for that. W's in the chat for Kimberly. Hey, Kimberly, for the $25 donation said, even us millennials are failing Gen Z. The divide is so great that we aren't even realizing how bitter we've become. Yes. Literally, yes, Kimberly. Thank you so much for that $25 donation. You are absolutely amazing, and it's good to see you. W's in the chat for, let's see here, sorry. W's in the chat for Haley, who sent a $20 donation towards the Nightly Goal to say thank you for all that you do and for having these conversations and welcome all viewpoints in a professional and respectful manner. Thank you. I think it's needed. I think it's needed, especially like we all, not gonna lie, we argue on the internet way too much. And I know I'm a part of arguing on the internet, but sometimes we need to actually have real conversations with each other and try to find a way forward. And so I like to be able to have that conversation. W's in the chat for Trissa, who sent a $5 donation saying, love what you do, man. You, Dean Parker, great. Thank you so much for that $5 donation. Thank you for the love and thank you for the support. And also over on the YouTubes, Joe S, thank you so much for the flowers, the thumbs, and the floating hearts. And also, Cade, thank you. Thank you so much for the laughing disco. I really appreciate all the love, guys. That means we only have $187 left in the nightly donation goal. There's 821 people here hanging out. We can definitely close out our nightly goal of 187 people just in $1. Cash App, PayPal, Venmo, all the pay links and links are in the bio. Santana speaks for you. Best way to support the live. Everything's accepted and things appreciated. If you're over on the YouTube, you can send a super chat and I will read that out. May, I want to come to you because Carol said a lot. And I just want to start kind of where I left off with Carol in the sense that Elon Musk is on pace to make $1 trillion now, signed, sealed, and delivered agreement to make $1 trillion. Carol, the way that this country is set up, people in your generation, the younger generation, not only are you guys not going to be able to amass that type of wealth that Elon Musk is, but him making that type of wealth will devastate the ability and the resources, not only within the country, but around the globe. How do you feel living in a country knowing that there's someone who can earn that much money where you, as a 25-year-old, are looking at higher rent prices, tougher challenges to be able to purchase a home, higher everyday living costs? You're living in a world where we're making more money than ever before, but yet things are still unaffordable.
I mean,
is it me or is it May? I'm sorry.
Oh, it's May. It's May.
May. That's what I thought. Okay, perfect.
Yeah. I mean, I think it's really sad. Like, I used to live in San Francisco right around the time where they started to get self-driving cars. And it kind of makes me think of like the disparity I saw between like all of the homeless people in San Francisco in contrast with like this kind of dystopian technology and wealth. And with Elon, I mean, I think honestly, he's just kind of bitter about the world because we made fun of him on SNL that one time. And so he is kind of just, I don't know. I know that's kind of random, sorry. But my point with that was that I think that there's this kind of like toxic hyper individualism that comes with like being in the top 1%, and also just like in general in America there's hyper individualism where you know, try your best to make your own worth for yourself. And yeah, I think that realistically nobody deserves that. Like, why does he deserve that more than
So let me ask you this.
Okay.
May, because Carol said that he earned it, right?
Yeah.
And again, I'm older than you, but younger than Carol, and I don't think there's a way for anyone to earn $1 trillion.
No.
Just because of the way that not only the way that things would have to go in order to be able to amass that type of wealth, and the resources that have to be stripped away from others. But as a younger person, do you think that that's something that's actually earned? I mean, is anyone actually earning that amount of money?
Well, like that would mean that he's working like triple the amount that a millionaire works, right? Like, let's say you have a lawyer who's a millionaire and works really hard. Like, I don't know. I mean, I don't know much about being a CEO or anything like that, but it doesn't seem realistic to me that you acquire that kind of money completely on your own. Like, of course, you depend on either the people in your company or society in general.
Yeah,
Like,
I agree. I think that understanding actual um, the actual premise as far as how we work as a society, and understanding that, like, being able to amass that amount of Sean, I don't know if you heard Sean last night, but Sean was talking about how within the way the capitalism works, and it is set to continue to gain more and more and more and more. And even if there were two people that are the richest people on earth, and they're the only two people that have money, they will continue to go at each other to get the money from the other person, right? It's a self-eating, self-growing, self-fulfilling process, and I think that speaks to where we are as far as Elon, quote unquote, earning $1 trillion. But give me a second here, May. And actually, May, because we have so many people in the box, and this is the last night on this topic, I do want to get more people in. So I'm going to actually swap you out. So I appreciate you coming up. Okay.
sounds good. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. You have a good one. Gene, I want to come to you. Elon Musk, while being able to sign an agreement to become the first ever trillionaire within the history of the world, he's not alone in a sense of billionaires and millionaires, like people who amass unforeseen amount of wealth, and especially here within the United States. And people like Elon Musk has utilized this current governmental system to do so. We can talk about SpaceX. We can talk about Starlink. We can talk about the agreements the government has signed with Tesla. All of these types of things. Elon Musk has been propped up through multiple administrations. So by the Democrats and the Republicans to land at where he is now. But at the same time, where the Republican Party and the Democratic Party can say, yes, we need Elon. We need to give him more contracts. We need to give him more money. Both sides can't even say we need to feed our people. What's the divide between the politicians when it comes to the billionaires and when it comes to the people?
Excuse me. Politicians care more about money than they do about upholding the fact that it's supposed to be by the people for the people. It's become by the people for the rich, like or by the politicians for the rich. It's It's like you have these people that have all this money, yet we can't support universal health care. We can't support, just like universal shelter, because shelter shouldn't have to be paid for. Food should just be a right. There's certain things that other countries that have less money than America have figured out how to fund all these programs, yet we're subsidizing trillionaires, but not subsidizing less fortunate people. And it's effing wild to me.
Yeah. Why is it that, because and maybe I missed it, right? Maybe I missed it. And I am chronically online, Gene, but maybe I missed it. But I haven't seen any politician come out and really speak on that with Elon Musk, and even more so call out the disparities between or the disparity between like what the correlation that I just made, where we're dealing with the government shutdown, where we're talking about food insecurities, but you have someone who has signed a deal for $1 trillion. Why aren't politicians on both sides calling this out at least? Because I mean, you talked about how much more they care, but are they afraid to even say anything about it?
That was what was going through my head as you were just talking just now, was I think they're afraid of the power that Elon has because of the money that he has, that he could possibly take his technology or his money, his business to other countries, or use his influence to take down their careers.
Okay. All right, Gene. I appreciate you coming up. I'm going to swap you out so we can get some more people in here. Okay.
Also, yep. You have a good night. Stop being humble. You'd be awesome in the office. Damn well you would be.
I don't know about that. See, you almost made me curse. Gene, get out of here. I appreciate you
watching.
I know, right? Get out of here. Guys, W's in the chat for Feisty. Hey, Feisty, send a $30 donation towards the nightly goal. And because it's you, I'll do it right. She said Tamale had brown eggs. Tamale had brown eggs. W's in the chat for Feisty. Thank you so much for that. W's in the chat for Veronica, who sent a $20 donation towards the nightly donation goal and didn't say anything, but just sent some love. I really appreciate you, Veronica. And W's in the chat for Cinda. Cinda sent a $40 donation towards the nightly donation goals. And thanks for all that you do here. Appreciate it. Thank you so much. Thank you for being here with us. Thank you for being a part of our community. Thank you just for being amazing. You're awesome. Guys, that means we're up to $153. That means that as far as our nightly goal goes, guys, we only have $97 left in our nightly goal. We can definitely close that out. We have almost 800 people. If 97 people send $1, knock it out. Cash App, PayPal, Venmo, all the pay links in the link tree in the bio. Santana Speaks For You. Santana Speaks For You is the best way to support the live. Everything is accepted, anything's appreciated. If you're over on the YouTube, you can send a super chat and I will read that out. Guys, there's a lot of people in the request, and I know there's a lot of people on the left, and I want to get some people in on the right for sure. That's not trolls. I don't want to talk to troll accounts. Is there anyone that's in the request or in the chat that is on the right that would like to join the, yeah, Tommy, I know you're MAGA. You're also a troll. I'm not gonna do trolls. Is there anyone on the right that would actually like to join this conversation and you're in the request or in the chat? Let me know. Is there anyone on the right that is in the request that would like to join the conversation? I don't see anyone. All right, we'll keep it going. I'll bring a couple other people in though. Blue Nurse, I want to come to you first. Blue Nurse, healthcare should be a right.
Healthcare and food.
Healthcare and food should be a right. But we can't get access to healthcare and food because of our political system, not because of the right, not because of the left, but because of our political system, because of the capitalistic society that we live in. The fact that even when you talk about our politicians, they're bought and sold, and no matter what side of the aisle they fall on, no matter how they say that they actually are here to serve the people, they often fall short of serving the people. Why is it that we live in a world where, again, you can have someone like Elon Musk amass that amount of wealth, but we can't take care of healthcare?
Because I think that people care more about themselves than they do other people. And I want to say something, and I think you'll know who it's directed to. I don't think that people stop to see that it's not, the world is not like it was 50 years ago. I work hard. My husband works hard. We make a lot of money and we struggle. It's so expensive out there. You can't just go get a job and get ahead. You know, I was raised, my dad was in the military. He was he wasn't an officer. He was just an enlisted guy, and we lived great back in the 80s. You can't do that anymore. And we have people in politics that have never struggled or have never had to, you know, people say, pull yourself up by your bootstraps. Not everyone has bootstraps. And
not everyone has boots.
Not everyone has boots. And there are people saying, well, I was able to do this and I was able to do that. It doesn't work that way anymore. And the whole system has to be changed. We need people that have lived a life, that know that that listen to someone say, what you're seeing in the grocery store isn't really happening. Prices are going down as they're skyrocketing, and it's hard to feed your family. We need people that have actually been in a grocery store. We need people that have actually pumped gas. I think we've got too many people have bought their way into office. And they can't they have no empathy. They cannot put themselves in somebody else's shoes. And I don't know how to do that. I know it sounds simple, but I don't know. I don't know how to do it. I think the age thing needs to change. I think term limits need to happen all across the board. Because they get in there.
Blue Nurse, if you don't mind me asking, how old are you?
I'm 54.
54. Okay.
And let me tell you a little bit about me, just a tiny bit. I'm 54 and I have 5 kids. My oldest child is 37 and my youngest child is 16. So I was a teen mom, and thankfully I had very supportive parents. And, you know, I've worked at DHS and I've worked at a factory and all that before I was able to go to nursing school. I was very fortunate, but I've seen things change. I mean, I've raised 5 kids in 3 different generations. So I've seen it change, and I've seen my kids struggle through the changes. It was much easier for my 37-year-old than it is my 16 and 17-year-old.
Well, let me ask you this question, because Carol is older than you, and Carol has the mindset, and Carol, I'm not picking on you, but I'm calling this out specifically, but Carol has the mindset of a lot of older people who think that like younger people or the younger generation just isn't working as hard. They're more so lazy, right? And I know where I stand, but being someone closer in age to Carol than myself, where's the symmetry breaker? Because I am seeing more people that are still closer to your age, Nurse, versus people that are closer to Carol's age, that there's a divide, but not everyone feels that same way. Like, why is it that some of the older generation thinks that like people just aren't working hard enough, and that's why like these things aren't achievable at the moment?
Because I think it's people that have never struggled. I think there weren't as many struggles back when they were growing up, and so they were able to do it. And I think it's I think it's a lack of empathy in this world. I don't think they can't put themselves in someone else's shoes. it was easier back then. Everything wasn't expensive as it is back then. The money wasn't all hoarded at the top like it is now. It's harder to get there.
Okay, hold that thought 1 second. 1 second. Carol, coming to you. What do you think to what Nurse just said? Nurse said that when you
I take
back when
umbrage
you
to
were,
what she said.
I'm sorry.
I take umbrage to what she said. I lived in government housing. My father took us out, picked strawberries, and we went door to door to sell them. He did rabbits under a house, killed rabbits to sell. I had secondhand clothes going to school. It wasn't easy for me. And I'm not saying that the whole generation, you got me wrong there. I'm not saying that. I was talking
and just
about,
FYI, Carol, I wasn't saying like just you specifically. I'm saying the actual sentiment from like older people around your age is that. So I wasn't necessarily just saying you. So I apologize if it seemed like I was saying like you said that.
And I apologize too, Carol. I wasn't trying to pick on you.
No, hold on 1 second, because I want to finish. I want to finish hearing what Carol said, because I have a point with all of this. So give me a second, Nurse, because I promise you I'm going somewhere with that. Go ahead and finish, Carol.
well, I didn't feel like you were picking on me. You said lack of empathy and several things that's the things that I took to heart, because I've been through so many stages of my life that I've been up and made a lot of money, and now I'm living on Social Security and can barely make it. So I know it all. I started low and I'm back down low. Has nothing to do with politics. It's just the way things happened. And you
Give her a moment. I think she got a call. Really quick while she's coming back. Debbie's in the chat for Edgar, who sent a $2 donation towards the nightly donation goal, saying just a little something to help with tonight's goal. I appreciate you, Edgar. I appreciate you way more. Thank you so much for that. And Debbie's in the chat for Jill. Jill sent $1. Jill, thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Guys, like when I say if everyone can send $1 and the people actually send $1, like that really does mean a lot to me, because you guys are freaking awesome. But thank you so much for that $1 donation, Jill. You are absolutely amazing. Guys, excuse me. That means we're only $94 away from closing out our nightly donation goal. We can definitely hit that. There's 826 people hanging out here. We can definitely hit that. If 94 people send $1, we can close out our nightly donation goal. Cash App, PayPal, Venmo, all the pay links and link tree in the bio. Santana speaks for you. Santana speaks for you. Best way to support the live. Everything's accepted and things appreciated. If you're on the YouTube, like Verillion sent a $5 YouTube super chat to say 1 trillion is 1 million per year for 1 million years. Nobody needs that kind of money. Exactly. W's in the chat for Verillion. If you like to support on YouTube, you can send a super chat and I will read that out. Carol, it looks like we got you back. You were saying.
I got a question. You say nobody needs that kind of money. Who is gonna the things that Elon, for instance, the things that he comes up with, if nobody else can do it.
Elon doesn't come up with those things.
Okay, who does?
The people that he steals ideas from.
Okay. People
that's like I heard someone saying this earlier, and I'm still the actual saying that he said. He said, I'm going to just cut across the grass, and I'm going to do the same thing. And the reason why people have such a reaction towards Elon Musk is not because he's not some great thinker. He's not some great inventor. He's not some great mind of our time. He is. I'll give him the fact that he is a great businessman, and he's been able to capitalize on the inventions and the intelligence of others. He is someone who was handed a boatload of money from emerald mines from his South African parents. And then he was able to take that money from the emerald mines, which is resources that he stole from Africa, and parlay that into more money here in the United States with, the PayPal mafia, and then purchasing Tesla, and then continue to actually live off government subsidies and, whether it's SpaceX and all this other stuff. But Elon Musk is not some genius that's creating, or he's not Tony Stark or the mind of our times. He's just the businessman that's been able to figure out capitalism and actually win he's literally won capitalism. But that's
So what is your answer to that?
to what?
Capitalism is what our country's built on. How do you fix that? How can you say, oh well, you've made this much money, you got to stop? How do you do that? And it used to be a millionaire used to be like way up there. Nowadays, average homes are $300,000. Then not 100,000. You know, so being a millionaire is not as far away as some might like it used to be.
No, it's even further. And see, that's what people don't have the understanding or the concept. Just because it seems like being a millionaire is more attainable because more people are millionaires does not mean that more people have pathways to becoming a millionaire. Just like it's really unattainable for you and I to become a trillionaire, there's still even more unlikely that you and I become millionaires. But that's not the point that I'm trying to make. I agree with you. Carol, I really want you to finish. I really want you to finish your point, though, which as far as what you were talking about, like the difference in the times, because I was going somewhere with that, and I really would like for you to finish that point for me, please.
Which times? What are you talking about?
You were talking about because Blue Nurse was saying how things were easier for you in your generation, and you guys lacked the empathy of that because you didn't have it as hard as it is now and things like that.
No, like I told her, she's terribly wrong about that. But I went through a lot of hardship, and I went through some good times and made some good money and made a lot of bad mistakes, had a lot of issues I had to deal with in our family, and things happened, So I've been up there, I've been way down, and I didn't get wealthy or anything, but I was doing good, like she said. It came a point where I was doing, back in the day when my parents, for instance, which they didn't, but my parents, when they retired, interest rates were through the roof, like 18%. They were living off their interest going to Florida and all. Of course, today, you can't unless you've invested in a certain way, 1%, or you got a 401k, you're having to use your capital. You have to deplete it.
Okay. Give me a second here because and this is the point that I wanted to get to. And I want to call this out directly. Carol, I'm going to meet you. The divide is Blue Nurse is saying Carol and the older generation had it easier. Life was easier for them. But people like Carol and her generation say life is easier now and we're softer or we don't want to work. The symmetry breaker is that it was different times. It doesn't matter if you talk about the past or if you talk about currently where we are in the present. It's different times. So while, yes, in the past it was easier in the sense that the cost of living was lower and the ability to make a purchase as far as like a home or a car was easier, right? I mean, the credit score didn't come around until like the 1960s or something, right? I mean, there's a certain part of there's people alive that are older than credit scores. So literally one of my favorite people of all time, Betty White, God rest her soul, was older than sliced bread. So it was a different time. But then when people say that it's easier now, it's a different time in the sense of the accessibility that we have in the world. The world is so small now. We have the ability to not only travel further than we've traveled, but we have the ability to gain access. Access to knowledge, gain knowledge. We have access to knowledge more readily available than we ever did before, which is interesting because we lack critical thinking more than ever, right? The fact that we have access to more knowledge, but people less willing to engage in that knowledge. But it's different. Both times had their their actual struggles, I guess you can say, right? Because you can talk about the older generation who lived through multiple wars, who lived through hardships in different ways. You can talk about this current generation. Heck, myself, I've lived through Columbine, Y2K, 9/11, the housing market crash, the dot-com bubble burst. I've lived through the COVID. I've lived through heck, I can't even remember the things that I've lived through all of these historical events. Desert Storm, yes. I say all that to say the symmetry breaker is people that are older think that people that are younger have it easy. And people that are younger think people that are older had it easy, without actually reflecting on the different struggles of the different times and then trying to bridge that gap. I heard AOC say this, specifically talking about the Democratic Party, and I have to bring this back because this is the reason why I brought us to this point. AOC said that there's currently people within the Democratic Party that led us to where we are today. And they need to either get on board or get out of the way. And while she said that to the Democratic Party, that's what needs to be said to all politics and all people. Everyone. Every single person, every single politician needs to get on board to fix it or get out of the way. Every single person within society needs to get on board to fix it or get out of the way. It doesn't matter your age. It doesn't matter your political leaning. Everyone needs to get on board. Blue Nurse, I'm going to drop you down. I appreciate you. I want to swap you out so I can get a few more people in here. But thank you for coming up.
Thank you, Santana.
Thank you. Just Alpha, I want to come to you. And I want to hear from you because, again, you have a unique position because of your calling, because of who you are. But I would like to hear what your thoughts are on not only kind of that exchange, the difference between generations with like Carol and Blue Nurse, but more so the inference on like, we're all on this boat together. And for some reason, people think that like taking on water on the left side will, who cares because the right side is dry, not understanding that, if any portion of the boat takes on water, the whole boat sinks.
Okay, so with regards to hello chat, with regards to that conversation, it was with what Carol said and what Blue Nurse said. They were talking about how younger people have always seem to complain more about the older generation having it easy, while older generations think that us Gen Zers are lazy and do not work hard enough. Statistically, that's just not true. You can look at regardless across the generations. You can look at the what was it called, the worker productivity index, to where it has gone consistently up, to where our workers across America have been more productive as the years have gone on. The problem is that the minimum wage has not increased and kept up with worker productivity. So no matter how much people work, the wages stay largely similar to that of 10 or 15, 20 years ago. And it's a huge problem in the sense that if you actually account for inflation today, the minimum wage currently, instead of it being $7.25 an hour, which is not even livable, Instead of it being $7.25 an hour, it would actually be a little over $23 to $24 per hour at the minimum, federally. So, for example, my grandparents are baby boomers. They were born to the generation after those who fought in the Second World War, and they are now retired with multiple millions. Like they're literally, we're talking people who have sent me to Disney World, I think 2 or 3 times, and Universal Orlando. They are very rich people, and they're very kind, very supportive, very, generous, humble, seniors. But they, no matter how much I would tell them about what our younger generation goes through, they will never fully understand it because they simply do not have the perspective, the mindset. And in order to heal the divide, we need to provide facts and evidence and education, not just towards the politicians, but to people as well. Because if we just go back and forth during this blatant class war that these politicians on both sides have put on us, we will never fully progress and get past this now blatant gilded age that we are in. Elon Musk becoming the first ever trillionaire is a failure in our society. That is atrocious. And instead of us asking to ourselves, which side is better? Because admittedly, I do have a perspective of which side I think politically is better. That does not matter, because at the end of the day, the real adversary, the greatest threat to our entire country and the greatest threat towards our progress is the seemingly unstoppable wealth gap between the middle and lower class and the billionaire/donor class, the top 1%. If we do not tax them properly, we will never get anywhere.
I agree. And even more so, I love how you brought up the fact that people don't understand the difference in the money, right? Like that and I completely agree. Like the perspective that's why I highlighted the conversation between Carol and Nurse Blue. It seems like there's a symmetry breaker that certain people just can't see, and it's right there. But I think you're like spot on, and even more so, you know how I feel about Elon, so you just nailed it. But I think that's something that is the failure as a whole, not just when it comes to money within the society, but just our society as a period. I mean, as a whole period. So anyway, just Alpha, thank you so much for coming up. I'm going to go ahead and swap you out. Okay.
Thank you very much, Santana. Always a pleasure. I will see you around. See you, chat.
Have a good one. All right, guys, we're going to get a few more people in here, and we are going to round out this conversation really quick, though. W's in the chat for Lauren for the $5 donation towards the nightly donation goal. Lauren, thank you so much for the $5. You're amazing. W's in the chat for Brian. Brian sent a $10 donation saying, doing a great job. Thank you, Brian. Listen, I need that. Not a lot of people say that, so I appreciate you. Thank you for the 10. Patty, thank you so much for the $1. You said it's not much. I'm sorry. Is it okay to say I love all that you do? First and foremost, $1 is way more than enough, because again, when I say everything's accepted, anything's appreciated, I mean it, and you don't have to do it. And so you did do it. And so I appreciate that. I promise you. Thank you. And yeah, thank you. Thank you for saying you love all that I do. And guess what? I love you, Patty. Thank you. W's in the chat for Angeline. Angeline sent a $5 donation saying, for this productive civil exploration of ideas. Listen, sometimes you got to do it. Like, I like to tussle. I do. You hear me when I'm debating, but sometimes we need to actually just talk to each other and not yell at each other. Thank you so much for that. And Emerald, thank you so much for the 2. Thank you for standing up for us with all the thank you for standing up for us all with all of your heart, of course. Thank you so much for that $2 donation. You're really amazing. Also, over on the YouTubes, W's in the chat for Deanna, who sent a $20 YouTube super chat to say, my contribution to the goal, love all the love for you. Thank you. Thank you so much for that. And then W's in the chat for AOC 2028. really quick chat. Sorry, sidebar. So I was texting with Parker the other day and I told him something and I was like, I just need to tell you this so I can go on record. So I can have somebody that I'm like, oh, I said this. Would you guys like to know what I told Parker? Would you guys like to know what I told him? I'm going to say it out loud. I normally stay away from that freaking goat thing. That is cool. Thank you for the trophy, Christina, over on YouTube. That's awesome. I just saw it. I normally don't say stuff like this out loud, but I'm going to say it anyway. I think the Democratic the Democratic ticket for 2028 is going to be AOC and Bernie Sanders, with AOC as the vice president. With AOC as the president and Bernie Sanders as vice president. I think that's the 2028 ticket. I'm on record now. I know Bernie's old, but that's why you put him as vice president and you have AOC as president. Write it down. Anyway, W's in the chat for AOC 2028 for the $1.99 super chat. Say just chipping in. Thanks for the safe space. Thank you for being with us and being a part of our community. I'm telling you, like there's something to that. Also, sorry guys, I completely sidebarred us. W's in the chat as well from the Dragon Lover who sent a $5 donation, saying to keep the honest keep the open, honest talk going. Absolutely. That's the only way to do it. Like, absolutely the only way to do it. Guys, that means that now we are only $66 away from our nightly goal. We can definitely hit that. We can close out our nightly goal, guys. There's 838 people here. If 66 people send $1, we can close it out. Cash App, PayPal, Venmo, all the pay links in the link tree in the bio. Santana speaks for you. Best way to support the live. Everything's accepted. Anything's appreciated. If you're over on the YouTubes, you can send a super chat and I will read that out. All right, let's keep it going. We have new people on the panel. I want to introduce the new people on the panel. I want to start with Corey. Hey, Corey.
Hello.
Corey. How do we fix this political system? Because it's broken. It's broken. The Democrats suck. The Republicans suck. Our healthcare sucks. Cost of living sucks. Our air quality sucks. The fact that we are heading towards World War III sucks. Like, everything sucks right now, Corey. How do we fix it?
Do you want my ideological answer or my actual answer?
Combination.
Eat the rich, tax them. That's the only.
Can you explain to people what you mean when you say eat the rich? Do you actually mean physically eat the rich?
Ideologically, yes. Just kidding. I mean, tax them. There's no reason to hoard that amount of wealth. There's no reason why the wealth gap should be what it is. That's why there are so many people struggling for what? So that people can continue hoarding wealth. That's just makes no sense. And that doesn't solve all of the problems. It's one of them.
Okay. All right. Give me a second here. Let's see. Brother Mitch. Brother Mitch, how are you?
I'm good. How you doing? Can you hear me okay?
I can. Brother Mitch, are you someone that normally votes on the left or the right?
Usually on the left side.
Okay. What do you think about this current political climate as a whole? And do you think that, like, this structure of the political side, the political structure works as a whole?
As a whole, huh?
Yep. Not talking about the right, not talking about the left. We're talking about all of them.
I think one of the big problems is when they started allowing the money into politics, the lobbyists and all of those people there, because it imbalances the power structure. The regular people don't have enough power to send lobbyists into Congress, while the rich and the corporations, they have all the money to lobby these people and put money into their pockets so that they'll do their bidding. And it leaves the regular people just struggling. We don't have the ability to, it will be very hard, as you can see right now, for all of us to come together, put our money together, put it in their pockets to help us. You see what I'm saying? It's a lot easier for these corporations and billionaires and people to go in there and control the Congress members, the Senate members, and get things in their favor.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's one of the big problems. And the other problem, like you were speaking on too, where Corey was saying, eat the rich.
Mm-hmm.
I don't actually say eat them, but I understand exactly what she is saying, because when they have that much money, they can't spend that money. If that money is circulating within the lower class, within the middle class, that money will eventually be spent. It'll help the economy. It'll help all those people, and it's going to go back up to them. They're not going to lose it. It's going to come back. It's going to come back to their pockets. It's going to circulate right back to them. And I don't understand why people are so gung ho about taxing the rich.
Yeah, I agree. And, you know, for as much as we can down like the trickle down economics, which doesn't work, trickle up actually does. And I think a lot of people don't understand the actual divide in our country, and why the political gains continue to be made by the wealthy, not by the left, not by the right, not by the everyday American, but the wealthy. Perfect. Give me a second here. Is it Elenita? How do I say your username?
You can just call me Sydney.
Sydney, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Good. Sydney, how would you revamp our political system? Because I'm someone that thinks that we need multiple things put in place. I think that we need term limits. Think that we need age limits. I think that we need ranked choice voting. I think that we need to abolish the electoral college. I think that we need proper representation across the board. I think we need more than two political parties. Like, what do you think we need to do?
I absolutely agree with all of those things. And I think we need to go maybe a couple of steps further. I feel like having the Supreme Court justices be appointed instead of elected has caused problems in the past. And I also feel, and now this is something that will probably never happen, but it is illegal for us to lie to our government. I feel that it should also be illegal for our government to lie to us.
I don't know if I agree with that one. Tell me why you say that.
I can understand the need to omit certain things, but I feel that blatant outright lies to the public that you're supposed to be governing takes away from the of the people, for the people, by the people concept. And I feel like it creates a lot of division, and a lot of misinformation that makes it hard for people to consciously vote when they can't always trust what it is that their representatives are telling them.
Okay. I agree. Someone in the chat just said, who decides if it's a lie? Not necessarily if it's a lie. Listen, okay. Sidebar. I disagree with you, right? And I disagree with you because of a movie. You ever seen Men in Black?
Yes.
Tommy Lee Jones told Will Smith, first Men in Black movie. He said that the people don't need to know everything. They're stupid. They're sheep. If you tell them that, they'll. You have to echo. All right, I'm gonna meet you. Swipe up and then come back in. Don't leave. Just swipe up like you're looking to check a text and then come back, and that'll fix the echo. But he said there. If you tell them the things, they'll panic. I'm not calling everybody stupid, but I do think that, and honestly, I don't want to know all the things. That's just me. I don't want to know all the things. I think that the weight of the oh, you still have the echo. Am I connected to a Bluetooth? Am I connected to a Bluetooth?
Yeah, hold on, let me fix that. Sorry, I was hiding in my car because my kids are asleep. Sorry.
The weight of knowledge is massive. It's massive. That's why when presidents go into office and they come out of office, they age at such a rapid rate. Yes. Yes. Can you hear me?
I stopped being able to hear you. Hold on. I'm gonna
meet you.
Can I back out and come back?
They age at such a rapid rate. I don't necessarily think I want all the knowledge that they have. But I get your point overall as far as saying like them lying. I get that. I don't know. I feel like I don't want to know all the stuff that they know. I don't need that type of transparency. All right, you're back. Can you hear me? Can you hear me? I agree. We definitely need to know like where our tax money is going and things like that. I don't know what just happened. Okay, I guess you can't hear me. Josh, I'm going to come to you. Josh, coming to you. The political system as a whole is atrocious. What changes do you think we need to make, or do we just need to destroy the entire system?
I don't know. I mean, like if we're studying back on history, I can't remember what it was called. We founded the country and we said, hey, this is how we want to run it. And they said, no, this isn't going to work. We had to come up with some sort of system that balances the powers between each government, because they don't want to go back to a kingship, which is exactly what they wanted to make Washington. They said, hey, we want to make you king. And it's like, no, we're not going to do that.
Mm-hmm.
I think, I don't know, there has to be certain things taken out. For one thing, we have freedom of religion. Well, there's a lot of Trump supporters that I hear come up on the panels, and they
don't talk about Trump supporters. We're not talking about individual groups or whatever. We're talking about the entire system right now, because I think it's a fallacy to talk about, like, while I disagree with Trump supporters, while I disagree with MAGA, while I disagree with the Republican Party as a whole, I think the entire political system is dog, sugar, honey, iced tea. And I disagree with the entire political system as a whole. And so that's why we're looking at the entire political system as a whole right now, because saying the left is the problem or the right is the problem, no, it's everything. It's the entire thing.
Yeah, I agree with that, because at the end of the day, we have like the rich leading us, right? Because when you look at government and you look at these campaigns that people are running on, these people have, millions of dollars to invest in this campaign. Your average citizen doesn't have that. There's so much that goes into running a campaign that the average person doesn't have. And another thing I think is one of the things that y'all were talking about, like, is there's like a generational gap, I feel like, in our system. Like, okay, so right now, as it is, people want to make America great again. Well, what does that mean, make America great again? Like, what do you mean make America great again? Like, do you want to go back to how it was before? Like, I was listening to one of your debates one time with you and Parker, and one of the guys on there said, you guys were talking about immigration. And he said, you know, this country was doing good on the first part. And you guys asked him, well, the first part of what? And he said, when slavery was a thing. And I was just shaking my head at that. Like, really? Like, so we want to go back to that? And the way I think about it, when I look back, when I think the founding fathers were trying to, get our nation together. When I was in college, my professor said that it was kind of like, he said that I'm going to order y'all a pizza, right? We all get pizza, but we all have to agree on all the toppings, right? And let's be honest, who's going to be that one weird kid that has to have that one topping, ain't going to budge on it, and one kid rose his hand and said, what's your topping? He said jalapenos. And some of the kids in the class were like, yeah. So there's always going to be disagreement.
Yeah, I agree. And which, like, disagreement is the premise of who we are, right? I mean, I think that we live in a society that should be diverse of thought. I mean, I completely agree. And while I don't disagree with the contradicting opinions, I do disagree with the limited amount of contradicting opinions that are represented. Like, that's why I sound like, that's why I say that the two-party system is a sham. Right. And even the third party vote is a complete fraud. But like, there's no way that two political parties can represent all of the different schools of thought across the entire spectrum of our country. And so that's why we need more political parties. But in order to gain more political parties, we have to have more people actually willing to put in the work to establish those political parties. But then you run up against the actual issue with capitalism. Right. The only way that you can win an election within the United States is to have hundreds of thousands or millions of dollars backing you. Like, you can't win an election without a bunch of money, which is like the problem. So, all right, Josh, give me a second here. Debbie's in the chat for, I think it's pronounced Joshana, Jayshawn. Thank you so much for the $5. You saying appreciate you so much. I appreciate you so much more. And I'm sorry I murdered your name. Sorry that I did that. W's in the chat for Gene. Gene sent a $1 donation saying, thank you for having me earlier. I always appreciate you more than you ever realize. Finding your community has been one of the most positive things to happen in my life. Gene, I'm so glad that you did. And I'm so glad that you're here. Like, seriously. You're a really important part of our community, and I really appreciate you. W's in the chat for those people, and W's in the chat for Just Alpha for the $5 super chat to say, Santana, I totally agree with wanting AOC for president in 2028. We need a female commander in chief, but Bernie would be 87 in 2028. 87, he's too old. I'm telling you, they're going to say that AOC doesn't have the experience, but Bernie does. Bernie's too old. AOC's young. I'm telling you, that's the combination. W's in the chat for Jenna for the thumbs up. Thank you for the thumbs up. And then also Christina, thank you so much for the $19.99 super chat to say, I appreciate you and those in the chat. We appreciate you more. Thank you so much. Guys, we only have $60 to close out our nightly goal. Only $60. There's 813 people here. We can do that. If 60 people send $1, we can close it out. We can close out our nightly goal. Guys, Cash App, PayPal, Venmo, all the pay links and link tree in the bio. Santana Speaks for You is the best way to support the live. Everything is accepted. Anything is appreciated. If you're over on YouTube, you can send a super chat and I will read that out. Also, guys, tap the screen. we're kind of moving slow on the likes. Can we get the likes up to 200,000 likes? Please and thank you. Please and thank you. Also, last but not least, make sure you guys hit the follow button. If you look up at the top, you see the word follow. That means you're not following me. Hit that follow button. Follow this account. Follow the backup account. All right. I've been going live more on the backup account as well, doing debates and all kind of things. So make sure you follow both accounts. All right. Dale, how are you? I'm sorry, not Dale. Sean, how are you?
I'm doing well.
Wonderful, wonderful. Sean, where do your political biases lean?
I'm a veteran, so typically I have tried to vote down the ballot and make my decision on both sides, but over the last couple of years, it's been leaning more towards Democrat.
Okay.
Well,
okay.
Progressive Democrat.
Okay. Sean, as someone who, like you just said, as a veteran, you try to be neutral, but you try to vote in the best interest. I think you and I can both agree that both sides suck, right?
Completely correct. Establishment Democrats have been very kowtowy to the other side. It's more
Wait. I want you to tell me the worst thing that you think about both sides and then the best thing that you think about both sides.
All right. Like I said, I lean more progressively, a progressive Democrat now.
Mm-hmm.
The fight that we are going through right now, and I understand it seems slightly like a contradiction, knowing that I'm a veteran.
Mm-hmm.
With us being in the shutdown that we're in, it's an important fight. I understand a lot of my brothers are not getting paid.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of my sisters aren't getting paid.
Mm-hmm.
But what is the worth of fighting overseas? And I hate to say it, being deployed in our country, and that's a whole separate bag of worms because I disagree with Pete Hegseth.
Mm-hmm.
But being conscripted for you to come home to nothing.
Yep.
A horrible system. So Democrats right now fighting and keeping the government shut down. It's a hard pill to swallow, but it's a pill that's needed. Because the more that we fight to continue to support people who are the most disenfranchised inside of our country, the more we become the society that we need to be. On the other side, it used to be for gun rights. I'm a born Texan. I'm a veteran. I'm a black man. Every part of that was meant to be a country boy who totes his gun.
Mm-hmm.
And they used to have that backbone. But there are members of that party I can't agree with anymore because they are trying to take gun rights from specific people in the nation. But
yeah,
I keep it to say that I like that side. I do like the part that you are fighting for the Second Amendment, but that's a complex viewpoint on that solely because I believe in gun restriction. There are parts that we can fine tune to make sure, like I said, I'm a Texan. I live in the Houston area.
Mm-hmm.
The school shooting that happened out here should never have happened. I apologize. I should have used proper word.
We're already here. You got it. Go off.
But that shouldn't have happened, and it would have not. It could have been prevented if we would have stopped resting on our laurels and being content with the way that 2A is phrased now and evolve it, because the Constitution is a living document.
Yeah.
But the passion.
Wait. Stop right there. Because you went where I was going to go next. So I'm just going to go ahead and steal the mic from you and force you into this, whether you like it or not. I think we need a completely different political system, right? I think that this current political system has failed us, just like I think the Constitution has failed us. I think we need a new Constitution. What do you think?
I agree with you partially because the concept of the Constitution as it is right now, it's flawed, but there are great bones inside of it.
Mm-hmm.
The Constitution didn't become, just looking back at history, the Constitution didn't become great until we started interpreting it correctly.
Well, the Constitution wasn't great when it was created, though.
And that's why I say until we started interpreting it.
And even with the interpretations,
adding amendments,
like what do we even do?
And the fact that we had to add an amendment for people like me and you to actually vote in ourselves.
Yep.
Even though the bones of the Constitution say that we should have already had that right, that women should have had that right. I say that I agree with you partially because we don't have to scrap the whole thing. We do need to actually do an overhaul of the government in the way that we do things.
But how can you do one without the other, though? That's the part that I'm struggling with, because the current governmental system is so intertwined and so reliant on the Constitution. Not saying that, because I agree with you. Like some of the premises of the Constitution. I mean, the most unique thing about our country is our Constitution, but yet the Constitution has been used as a weapon to hold people back and to restrict people. And like it's so intertwined with the current governmental system. I don't see how you get rid of one and then keep the other.
Well, parts of overhauling the government and also retooling the Constitution do come down to things like what people have already stated. Term limits on our politicians. A actual introducing an amendment to make sure that we don't have president placed Supreme Court justices anymore. Because at that point, that becomes a noose upon our neck. And we've seen that in the recent years. Presidential appointees in every other category do not stay permanently other than Supreme Court justices. And that makes no sense to me. It's never made any sense. And I don't claim to be a poli-sci genius, but the fact that we have the highest court, the people who determine our laws, being lifetime appointments, that in the case of Clarence Thomas, can be beholden to the rich and the wealthy, the powerful, whatever flavor of word you want to name the backers for our Supreme Court justices. That is something that shouldn't happen. Or even an amendment to just simply retool the Electoral College or abolish it.
Abolish it completely. We can't retool that. Okay, wait. Give me a second, Sean, because I want to make sure I get an opportunity to get everyone else in. Sorry. You and I could sit here and talk all day. Give me a second. Dale, coming to you. What do you think? I think that not only has the governmental system failed us, but the Constitution lacks the ability to hold up because of the dependency of the government on the Constitution. And I think there needs to be a complete restructuring of it all. But what do you think?
So I think that, I kind of agree with Sean with this one. I think that, the majority of bones of the Constitution meant well, but it was people, interpreting it that gave them, the quote unquote position of power that they feel they have over others. But I also agree with you. I think that our whole political system needs an overhaul because, it doesn't take a super genius to see that right now nothing is working for the people or the future of this country.
And that's the problem. That's the problem. Not only is it more so than working for the people, the problem that I have, and maybe it's because I have two young boys. And I think it's because I always think about the future more than I think about the present. And I think about like life for them. And while things might be tough for us today, like things are going to be really bad for our kids and then really bad for our kids' kids. And like that's the part that I worry about. And I always think like if we can take it on our chin today to make a better world for them in the future, then that's what we should do.
So I mean, I'm 21 right now, and every time that the conversation may come up with between me and my wife about the future of having kids, like I then take a look at the current political landscape and I get fearful, to have a daughter because, rights are being stripped away. And, at least for the next 4 years or however long it takes us to get, Roe v. Wade back in place, like she won't be able to control what she does with her body. Somebody else in Washington, D.C. has already made that decision for her. And even not that, like, not even that far away, like the capital of whatever state I live in has made that decision. And that, like, I completely disagree with that.
Yeah, I agree. All right, give me a second here. Guys, W's in the chat for Kingsley. Kingsley sent a $20 donation towards the nightly donation goal. Kingsley, you're freaking awesome. Thank you so much. And also, guys, this just came in. Sorry, 1 second here. W's in the chat as well for Kelly. Kelly just sent a $5 donation towards the nightly donation goal, saying, just keep moving forward with the goal. I have complete confidence in you. Thank you. Thank you so much. I'm glad that you have confidence in me. I don't know if I have the same confidence in myself, but I'm glad that you do. Thank you so much for that $5 towards the nightly donation goal. Guys, that means that we're only $35 from closing out our nightly goal. I know we can do it. At 35 people, $1. We can close it out. Cash App, PayPal, Venmo, all the pay links and links are in the bio. Santana speaks for you. Best way to support the live. Everything's accepted and things appreciated. If you're over on YouTube, you can send a super chat and I will read that out. All right. Almighty liberal queen.
Okay, not too much, guys, not too much. I'm not a liberal. It really started as like an inside joke and now I just use it as rage bait, if I'm being honest.
Okay. Are you someone that normally votes on the left or the right?
The left.
Okay.
If you couldn't tell.
What do you think? I
think that what you're doing is very smart. I think that it really isn't a left or a right. I think I agree on the fact that they do both genuinely suck.
Suck. They all suck.
It is like very much rich people versus everybody else. It is the billionaires, the top 10 number one richest people in this country that have over $100 billion in wealth that are just hoarding everything. And I think I requested up when I think that Carol lady was here because I've been talking to a lot of people at like work and just stuff in general. Like I never stop talking about politics in general, but I've noticed that within the older generation, they have a very hard time with like taxing rich people and like realizing, I think there's like a level of dissonance happening where they really don't understand how much just $1 billion is. Like, and I know like we're all broke. We've never seen $1 billion. Like none of us have ever even seen that. So it's hard to even like fathom that. But I've tried explaining to like mostly boomers that if you got $100,000 every single year and that wasn't taxed, you didn't spend any of it, you just got an additional $100,000 a year, which is more than like an average American makes a year. It would take you 10,000 years to accumulate $1 billion. And I've watched like minds actually explode from realizing how much $1 billion is. And then you realize that when Elon had 430 billion, and that was before the whole trillion thing with Tesla and all of that, we need $25 billion in America to solve hunger. And we have over 10 people with over $100 billion in this country sitting there reaping the benefits of everything that we pay for. And they specifically the right, but I would say just our government in general, they love to like give like political pawns to like blame things on like immigrants. They've used immigrants as like, oh, they're taking all your money, like you need to watch out for them. They're taking your money, they're taking your house, they're taking all of these things. But then when you look into it, they're paying more taxes than the billionaires that you're sitting here scared to tax. It's just very interesting to me. And I just wanted to make that one point. I was wishing Carol was still up here just because I was wondering if she knew how much $1 billion seriously was.
Yeah, and
Because it's a lot, more than anyone needs.
Yeah, it's interesting to me that like a lot of people, I don't understand. It's definitely the disconnect because I think a lot of older people think that like what they equate to hard work, right? Working long hours. Some of them equate hard work to working with their hands. But we came from a generation where hard work equated sacrifice, like losing time from your family, losing time from sleep, like actual hard physical labor, all these different ideas as far as like what hard work look like. I mean, you can talk about people who used to own their own farms, till their own land, like do all this other stuff or work in coal mines and all these other things. And so the ideas of the older generation is like you work hard, you earn, and then you do these things. And so they still have this idea that, well, if someone is this rich, then they have to work extremely hard to become this rich. And Carol was saying like, oh, if Elon doesn't come up with the ideas, then where are we going to get it from? Not realizing that it's not the exploitation of people is more prevalent than hard work for those ultra wealthy people. Like, I don't think the older generation gets that. And so they just assume that just because someone isn't, as rich or whatever as someone else, it's because they're lazy or they're not working hard. No, they're just the people that's being exploited by the people that are.
I think that that's 100% true. And I think that within like the older generation too, like what you were saying about how like you need to get up and you just need to go to work and you just need to work harder. If you're broke, it's your fault. You just need to work harder. I think because they turned like suffering and having no quality of life into like this personality trait that makes them feel better for like, well, I didn't get to spend any time with my kids. I didn't get to be home with my wife at all. Like, certain things like that, they turned into if you don't do it this way. And I think that's why a lot of them have a problem with Gen Z because Gen Z is very much out here like, we will not settle for no quality of life. We will not settle for not being able to raise our children and have someone else do it. Like, we want to be able to raise our children and still be able to have a livable wage. And they're like, oh, that just means you're lazy. You just don't want to work. Like, no, we just genuinely do not want to suffer.
Yep. I completely agree. Debbie's in the chat for Sydney. Sydney sent a $5 donation towards the nightly donation goal, saying, I missed your MIB rebuttal. Summarize, basically, Tommy Lee Jones told Will Smith before he became a member of Men in Black that like there's a bunch of stuff out there that the public shouldn't know because they would panic and they should just be able to live their lives comfortably and they take care of like the aliens and the wild stuff. And I agree. Like, I don't want to know all the stuff that the government knows. I just don't. Debbie's in the chat for Kyle. Kyle, thank you so much for the $20 donation. I read what you said and I appreciate you. All right, guys, that means we only have $10 to close out our nightly goal. I know we can do it. We can knock that out. Cash App, PayPal, Venmo, pay links in the link tree in the bio. Santana speaks for you. Best way to support the live. Everything's accepted, anything's appreciated. Also, Debbie's in the chat for T over on the YouTubes who sent a $5 Canadian, say, I'm from the older generation and I do get it. Love and respect from Canada. Thank you so much. You know what? But T, so this is the difference though. You just said from Canada. Again, I think there's such a cultural divide when it comes to the premise as far as like hard work within the United States and then other countries. There's a lot of countries. There's certain countries where capitalism does not move those countries. Like literally, there's certain countries where the quality of life and their happiness is way more important than money. And you have certain countries where like, all the grocery stores are closed on a certain day of the week. So you have to do your grocery shopping, throughout the week. Like there's certain countries where you couldn't imagine that like there's a day where like Walmart and Safeway or Food Line or Publix is just closed, like every single one of them. And even those countries as well, like they'll just say, oh, the time we close is this time, and certain and here in the US, like, yeah, I mean, people are willing to keep going a little bit further because, there's money, but when in other countries, when it's time to go, it's time to go. But that's the point. Like, it's different in different countries. So anyway, give me a second. James, how are you?
I'm good. How are you, Santana?
Wonderful. James, where do you fall on the topic? Do you think that this current societal system that we live in is something that we can keep moving forward? Can we revamp the political system and keep it intact, or do we need to scrap the whole thing? Like, what do you stand?
So I lean way left. I don't think what we have right now is sustainable, specifically because of capitalism, but also the Constitution, I believe, needs to be rewritten almost entirely.
I agree.
Almost entirely.
Wait, okay, hold on. So when you say almost entirely, do you mean is there like we can keep the framework and idea, but like completely revamp everything? Like, tell me what that looks like, because I'm kind of on that same tip.
So my idea of rewriting the Constitution, we keep the rights, we add rights, but we redefine what the electoral college is. We redefine the powers of presidency, Congress, and the House. So some of the new rights that I put some thought into are the right to privacy, right? This is going to protect you from AI. This is going to protect you from things like Oracle, right to life. This is going to be giving you food, affordable healthcare, housing, right to bodily autonomy. Roe v. Wade needs to be in the Constitution. Roe v. Wade is the compromise. We also need to specify the age of adulthood at 18 years old. This is going to protect from jobs. This is going to protect from people who want to take advantage of children. Right to marry any other adult person. We also need to encompass.
How long have you been thinking about this?
A long time.
Because this is actually really good. Like, I'm not gonna lie. Like, holy. Right, somebody just said, holy smoke, like literally, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off, but this is really good. As a matter of fact, can somebody grab a piece of paper and pencil and write this down?
You know what, I'll shoot you a message, DMs.
I apologize, keep going.
All right, so we need to encompass all rights to vote into one article with no exemption. We need to have equal representation no matter what. The right to exist needs to be in there. This is going to be for trans. This is going to be for LGBTQ, African-American, immigrant. We also need to remove sexist bias and predatory corporation practices. This is going to be like insurance for males. This is going to be women's health studies. We need to redefine immigration standards. Of course, we can all agree on that. We need to protect our land. This is going to be preservation for future generations. We need to limit oil. We need to limit gas. We need to really take things like the Paris Accord into serious consideration. Any decision made should be backed by professionals of each given topic. All persons on American soil have the right to due process, citizen or not. It doesn't matter. You deserve a fair trial. We also need to establish consequences of breaking the Constitution intentionally. Like, you can propose a bill, and if it's unconstitutional, whatever, right? But if you knowingly submit that bill again in a different way, there needs to be consequences. And then we also need to give a very clear definition of what treason is, right? We also need to establish rules for lobbying, private business, and interfering with politicians.
Yes. Yes. Sean, what do you think? Because, like, I'm sorry, but that's the type of time I'm on. Like, Come on, Sean.
I'm gonna be honest with you. He hit the nail right on the head. When it comes down to protected rights, we do need to have them engraved into a new constitution. He spoke everything that was on my mind when I was saying that retooling.
Yeah, the bones. Yeah, exactly.
We have everything that we need to build the foundation of what our constitution needs to be. But we have 21st century problems that need to be instilled in right to bodily autonomy, having clear and defined voter protected rights. When it comes down to immigration wouldn't be a problem. The problem that it is, if we had clearly defined goals and values when it came down to how we dictate immigration into our country, solely because the issue that we have right now stems from the ineffectual process that we have working inside of our country right now.
What do you think about the point that he made about clearly defining what treason is? Because I still attest that two of the largest failures in the history of the United States is, one, not properly punishing the people of the Confederacy, and then not properly punishing people of J6.
I'm gonna be honest with you, man. You hit at something that I've been telling people for years.
Mm-hmm.
Like I said, I'm a veteran. I'm a patriot of this country. The real definition of what a patriot is of this country. I signed on that dotted line. Those are traitors to the country. That is the clearest definition of traitors to the country. And you hit on something that is even more entwined than you think, because that is the first time that the Confederate flag has flown at our country's capital. It didn't even happen during the Confederate War. And I completely agree on that. We need defined terms on what is treason, what is sedition, what it is to be a enemy of the state. Because there are so many people, and it comes from both sides.
Mm-hmm. They use that term.
At this point, it comes from both sides that like to label people of being enemies of the state.
Yep.
And we throw it around. No, there is a such thing as being an actual enemy of the state. When you try to overthrow the government, when you try to change the results of a election, when you march against what has already been and should have continued to be a free transition of power, that is treason. It is seditious acts. And we wouldn't have been able to have them freed now if we would have had those clear definitions.
Couldn't agree more. Yeah. Sean, I'm gonna go ahead and drop you down. I appreciate you coming up. I appreciate like you pushing back on my thought process, but then even more so making me think more and like lining up with me. I think that you see the vision.
I love, man. Thank you.
You and I are locked in. I appreciate you coming up.
All right. Thanks for having me. Peace.
Absolutely. Dale, what do you think about what James just said? Because what are your thoughts? I think if we did that, there's no need to say, oh, we're going to revamp the political system, because if we did that to the Constitution, it would force the political system to be revamped. But what do you think?
So I agreed with everything that James had to say, but my biggest issue with the political system right now is all the big money, right?
Mm-hmm.
And not even that, like also people in our government owning stocks that are multiplying their net worth far beyond what it should be. And like I hear a lot of people, talking about, get rid of Citizens United and all of that, but I don't hear that many people talking about getting rid of insider trading, right? Why should somebody making $170,000 a year in Congress, be worth multi-millions, right? So I like I said, I completely agree with everything James said. I just don't think he went far enough.
Oh wow. Okay. All right. I agree. Like my whole premise is always been you have to get money out of politics completely because once you certain people go into politics just to make money. And whether it's the benefits after they leave office, the benefits while they're in office, the actual access that they get to insider knowledge with stocks, all of that. It's all connected. And with it all being connected, it's all a problem. So I completely agree with you on that. And, I think that is something that we have to target. How do we do that, though?
So I obviously think that we do need to overturn Citizens United. Governments corporations, I'm fine, maybe making one or two donations, but when those donations, for example, in the last election, Elon Musk donated over what was it, $239 million.
Yep.
When people are donating that amount of money, that is election changing. Yep. When you're able to, put out more and more of the same rhetoric, eventually people will subscribe to it. But I think that if they are going to donate, every single message that is paid for by that money should have the company logo, who paid for it, who authorized the payment for it.
I freaking love that idea. Like, what is it, like NASCAR, where they put like the stickers on the hood and everything?
Absolutely. Like,
yep.
If you're going to be bought and paid for, you are going to.
You need to wear that label. Exactly. I love that idea.
And get back to like grassroots donations. Like a government for, by, and of the people should be funded the same exact way. Like corporations shouldn't be able to buy elections. Because then that's not fair to people like me or you. Like there's no way in 7 lifetimes that I could raise that amount of money to buy a political office. And that also achieves, a couple things, like making laws that benefit the people, not just that company, like without Citizens United, you don't have these companies that have a specific goal. So they buy this politician. One sec. Sorry about that. When this company has a specific goal, they target a politician. They buy this politician's, they buy their vote in that office. And then, they can exploit whoever they want. So I do think, like, overall, it just needs to be done away with, and American people need to be the overwhelming donors for political.
I agree. Absolutely. Well, hey, Dale, thank you so much for coming up and spending time with us. Thank you for sharing that. I agree. Like, I think that that definitely needs to be rolled in as well. So I appreciate you.
I appreciate you having me up.
Absolutely. Have a good one. Let's see here. I'm sorry. You said your name was Selena? I can't remember what you said your name was.
Sydney.
Sydney, got it. Sydney, I know you were talking earlier and you didn't get to finish your thought. I didn't know if you wanted to go there, or I would love to hear what your thoughts are as far as what James said, and even more so, like anything that you would have to add to it.
Yeah, absolutely. So, just rounding out really quickly what I was saying earlier, I do agree with you that there are some things we don't need to know. And that was not where I was going with my point. It was more, there are things we don't need to know. There are things that are confidential. There are things that can be omitted. But when it comes to an outright, blatant lie, point in case, I did not have relations with that woman.
Or they have weapons of mass destruction.
Or
they just want that oil.
Or am I even allowed to like say things currently about the administration, because there's so many? Okay. So, or the government is shut down because they want healthcare for undocumented immigrants, which doesn't even make any sense, because like if you gave them federally funded healthcare, then they would then be documented. But whatever.
Yeah, I agree. I agree with the. I think there is a line. I understand what you're saying, like blatant lies versus certain lies of protection, like misleading statements versus not telling us that really we're all in an AI program in the Matrix, and we're being used as batteries.
Well, sure.
I mean, enjoy my AI.
Look, you wouldn't want to disrupt the social experiment, now would you?
Yeah, no. Anyway, gonna get my live taken down. Allegedly, TikTok, allegedly. But what do you think about what James said?
So I love James's perspective, and honestly, he'd have my vote for president if he wanted to run. I think that people with that mindset need to come together and either be politicians or get in touch with their politicians. They need to write it down and petition for the change that we all feel like we need.
Yeah, I agree. And even more so, like, I think that's why tonight I really wanted to focus on like, how do we fix it? Or the it says what's the point, but like, I think the only way that we're going to have any type of real change and any type of real momentum or movement is if we do it ourselves. I don't think like the current political structure, the people that are in power, they're not going to change it because it benefits them. And so it's going to have to be us forcing them to change.
Yeah, I agree.
So that's absolutely. All right, perfect. Thank you, Sydney. I appreciate you coming up and spending some time with us, and even more so making sure that you didn't wake up the kids.
Thank you for having me.
Have a good one.
You too.
Josh, what do you think about what James said?
So I agree with what he's saying. Our times are changing now, and there's the LGBTQ community that's trying to be accepted among us, and I think that we need to, so I feel like one of the things from, like, I guess the T community, right, specifically.
You mean transgender community?
Yes, trans people.
Mm-hmm.
One of the things that I feel like some of them might say, I feel like so right now it's at a point where, like, a lot of people don't understand it. So my best friend, who I've known since I was 14, 15 years old, they just recently came out of as trans, and they refer to them as they, them. They recently changed their name, And I feel like a lot of people, like, they don't understand that, they don't understand this whole transition thing. I myself, I am 33 years old. So I come from, like you and me, whenever we think about gender, right? If you asked us, oh, what gender are you? Back in like the 90s or something like that, oh, you'd say you're male or you're female. And nowadays we have this idea of, well, I'm non-binary. And a lot of people don't understand what that means.
I have a question for you, serious question.
Yes, sir.
Why do they need to understand what it means? And I say this in all sincerity because, like, I genuinely think people need to just mind their own effing business. Like, certain people get so upset, and I think that a lot of people actually people think that, like, oh, just because I don't understand this, then it's invalid. I don't understand this, it's not real. I don't understand this, and who cares what you understand? Like, if someone tells you, like, this is my gender or this is what I am, then this is what they are. Like, why is it so hard for people just to respect that? Like, that whole idea of people needing to, I don't think that people need to understand. I think they need to mind their own effing business.
Yeah. Why does it affect your life?
Yeah.
Right? Why is it that, hey, I want to be this other person, like I want to be a woman, like all of a sudden, what does that have to do with you? Well, some people will say, oh,
and wait, are you saying that people just want to be a woman? Because that's not what it is.
No, yeah, you're right. Because they could say, oh, I'm non-binary, I don't identify.
Well, it's not them just saying something, having an incongruency in who you are, like, versus what you were born. That's what it is. It's not something that someone decides to, it's not a decision.
Exactly. Yes.
Okay.
I agree with you.
I wanted to clarify that because
Yes,
it was making it sound like it was like a decision, and that's not it.
No. Like, you don't choose to be gay. Like, you exactly. You don't choose to be gay. You just are gay, right? I don't just choose to be heterosexual. I am heterosexual. I know, because when I look at a woman, I say, hey, I like what I see. I don't look at a man and say, oh, I think they're sexy or appealing to me. I don't get sexually aroused by that.
Yeah.
And
but I guess going back to the point we were making about the Constitution that James,
we're kind of getting off base here a little bit. Sorry, man.
As a whole, what were you saying about that?
So I mean, it just. I think sometimes I think it comes down to religion, religious beliefs, because I hear that a lot. Like, oh, I don't like the gays because it goes against my religion. And I hear, like, Dean or Parker say, well, where in the Bible does it say that it's wrong to be gay? And to have freedom of religion, we shouldn't impose one religion on our entire nation. Right? Because we have this freedom of religion. We have freedom, and then there's also talks about, like, abortion. And going back to what I was saying earlier, where I feel like as a nation, we need to find some kind of common ground. When I hear people talk about abortion, they say, well, I agree with abortion, but, I don't think that people should use it as a form of birth control. And, like, every time someone says that, my girlfriend is like, well, you need to mind your business,
I was just about to say it's the same thing. Like,
yeah,
you know what?
Exactly.
And I'm gonna be honest with you, right? There's a lot of people in this country that, for some reason, worry about things that have nothing to do with them.
Exactly.
And there's a lot of people that actually, there's a lot of people in this country that's not used to getting punched in the mouth, and that's a problem, right? Like, but even more than that, there's a lot of people that feel like their opinions should actually like shape the way that other people do things, and that's not how it works. And like, just because you don't subscribe to X, Y, or Z, or you don't think this way, like, what does that have to do with the other way that other people are doing things? Like, and like, that's my problem with, even when you talk about religion, right? And I've said this a million times over, people use their religion as a sword to attack others instead of a shield to protect, as most religions should be. And so the idea that just because you disagree with abortion, then sure. I mean, like, I think I don't know if James said this or Sean said it, but like Roe is the compromise. Like Roe is the compromise. Like, and it gives just those protections. And if you want to have an abortion, have an abortion. If you don't want to have an abortion, don't have an abortion. But don't tell somebody that they can't have one because you don't want to have one.
Exactly, because it goes against your religion. This is a country where we have freedom of religion, right?
Yeah.
That is our First Amendment, one of the First Amendment. Did you ever watch the Book of Eli?
I did, but I want to kind of bring it back, and then I want to I'm going to drop you down because we gotta wrap it up.
Gotcha.
But go ahead with your point.
Okay, so in the Book of Eli, in that movie with Denzel Washington, and he's trying to protect this book, and the antagonist of the movie, he's trying to get the book because everyone,
Bible book,
the Bible book. Yes, he's trying to get the Bible, and in the movie he says, one of his lackeys tells him, "Oh, what is so important about this book? Why are we like risking our men for this book?" And he says, "It's not just a book; it's a weapon."
Absolutely. Spoiler alert as well. The book was in Braille.
Oh yeah,
it was in Braille. So like, even when they got it, they couldn't read it. Anyway, it's absolutely. Josh, thank you so much for coming up and hanging out. I really appreciate you.
Hey man, I appreciate y'all. I'll keep watching you, Dean, and Parker all the time, man.
All right, thank you. Have a good one.
Later.
Guys, W's in the chat for Ellen, who sent a $15 donation saying thank you for what you do and who you are. Ellen, thank you so much for the donation, and honestly, I appreciate you saying that. If you actually enjoy me, I appreciate that. You're awesome. Also, W's in the chat for Witch Woman over on YouTube, who sent a $5 super chat to say, can James put MYOB clause in there? James, do you know what MYOB is?
I do not.
I'm not going to say it because that would be antithetical to late nights. That's more of something I would say. I don't even know if I would say that on sparring, but I would definitely say that if I was on Erica's panel.
Oh, thank you.
I would say that on Erica's panel, but I wouldn't say that on my live. So, oh, you know what? It is mind your own business. I'm sorry. I thought it was something else. Never mind. I'm not even going to tell you guys what I thought it meant. I'm not even going to say what I thought it meant. E, hold on. E, I see you in the chat. I'm going to tell you what I thought it meant. E, I just sent it to you in Discord. I'm not even going to tell you what I thought it meant. It is mind your own business. You're right. Mind your own business. I thought it was something else. Anyway, James. So listening to what they said, I do think there was a couple of things. And I think that like Dale had the biggest thing, which was like specifically making sure that we target the amount of money that's in the political system. What do you say to that? And overall, like, what do you want people to take away from like your idea of the new constitution, and even more so, like, how do we get this in writing and how do we get this moving forward? Because like, this is a thing.
Absolutely. So I agree. Money needs to be completely moved out of politics. That just promotes greed, right? To promote this, though, just keep speaking about it. Keep the ideas that you have to make a better country, and keep talking to your politicians. It's even better if you can write something out and try to get them to pass that as a piece of legislation. The better it is, the more convincing, the more it protects, the harder it is for people to say no to it. So I think if we could just get this written, given to politicians, I don't know. I don't know what the fix here is, but
do me a favor, go to my link tree, and my email is in my link tree. I would like for you, if you could send it to me. I actually have I have access to people, and I think we can start to circulate this. I don't know, I don't know if it's actually feasible, but holy smokes, it's something. So
absolutely, I'll get that to you.
All right, James, I appreciate you coming up.
Thanks for having me.
Thank you. Have a good one. W's in the chat for Diamond for the $2 donation, saying another amazing panel. Thanks, Santana. Thank you so much, Diamond. I really appreciate it. I really appreciate it. Really, really appreciate it, especially because, again, guys, when I do late nights, I really do put a lot of time, energy, and effort into trying to flush out the conversation, flush out the topics. I map out things that I want to talk about. Yeah. And so I really appreciate when you guys actually enjoy like these panel discussions for late nights. I have a lot of fun. I kind of want to do one next week where we talk about like parasocial relationships and like how the internet isn't a real place. What do you guys think? You guys want to talk about how like the internet isn't a real place and like parasocial relationships online is weird? I kind of want to have that conversation. I kind of want to talk about that. You said your parasocial relationship with me. No, not with me. We're like us, not us. Like everybody else. It's the rest of them. Like the rest of them are weird, not us. I'm not talking about us. Not anybody that's watching right now. Like them, not us though. Like them. We're good. Like all of us are locked in. It's the rest of them. The rest of them are the weirdos. We aren't weird. They're weird, not us. Don't worry about that. I'm not talking about us. So. All right, guys. Oh man, gosh. It's time to call it, guys. It's been a good week. It's been a good week. I've really I've enjoyed this week. The point that I wanted to make sure that we get from what's a parasocial relationship? It's a relationship with people. It's like having a relationship without having a relationship, without interacting with certain people and knowing people or whatever, and you think that you know them. It's like a lot of time, my generation had like parasocial relationships with like celebrities, right? Where we would have like our favorite celebrities and we would just like stand for the celebrity. It's a whole thing. It's a whole thing. It's a whole thing. I don't want to talk about it too much because, yeah. Nothing nice. Thank you. I appreciate it. I really appreciate it. All right. So again, it was a really good week. It was a really good week. The point that I wanted to get through is Republican Party sucks. Democratic Party sucks. United States political system sucks. Eat the rich. The billionaires don't give a darn about any of us, and they buy politicians to better themselves. for the racists, you're too poor to be racist, so cut that crap out. You don't have enough money to worry about other people being black or whatever. Yeah, those are the points that I wanted to make sure I got across. And unless you're Elon Musk signing a contract for $1 trillion, you have not won capitalism, and more than likely you won't win capitalism. You're not one lottery ticket away from becoming a billionaire. So stop defending billionaires, because that's weird. Also, the Republican Party is the party of racists. And the Democratic Party is the party of racists as well. But the Republican Party is just the party of racists that actually talk about it. The Democratic Party is the party of racists, and they try to act like they're not racist. Overt racism versus covert racism. What else? I think that's all. I think I got it all off my chest. Yeah, I think I got it all on my chest. As Sala would say, all power to all the people except, who did he say? Except somebody. Except Ron? Does he say Ron? Except Ron? All power to all people except Ron. I think it's Ron. Ralph. Yeah, except Ralph. I don't know what Ralph did, but Ralph must have really pissed Solid off to put him in his outro. The people need the power. The people need the power. Like, we need the power. It's about us. It's about us. It's literally about us. It's not about the political system. It's not about Donald Trump. It's not about Chuck Schumer. It's not about like any of the talking heads. It's about us. And like, stop being stupid. Stop thinking that, you know, the person that you're on the internet yelling back and forth with is the actual problem, where like it's the entire system. And yes, the people that you might be yelling at is stupid, because I know I yell at a lot of stupid people, but like there's bigger stupid people. So, all right, guys, we got to get out of here. I got to go night night.
Yeah, this ain't your regular panel. Nah, we speak the truth. Late nights with Santana and Mama Jones watching. Better keep it clean. Let's go. Late nights, truth in the convo. Everybody get a seat at the table. From the blog to the books, we mindful. No screaming, just dreams in the Bible. One mic, one voice, we build bridges from the heart of the hood to the world's big issues. Politics, pay, different cultures, but the real ones listen before they rebuttal. Late nights with Santana. Yeah, Mama Jones watching, so keep it growing.
Hey guys, it was a good week. It was a good week. Hey, look up at the top. If you see the word follow, you're not following me, hit that follow button. Hit that follow button. Make sure you hit that follow button. Turn on your notifications, especially because for the rest of the week, we're doing debates and I plan on cooking. So there's that. Guys, it was a really good week. I'm super excited about the progress that we're making. There's a couple of things that I really want to talk about. And I'm sorry for everyone that I didn't get in for the conversation. I know there's been like a lot of people that want to request up, and I don't always get to get people in. But I promise you, I try. And if we didn't get you in on this topic this week, guess what? There'll be another topic next week, and you can join. So come back. You come back, and I'll come back, and we'll come back. Do you guys agree? If I come back and do this again, will you guys come back? Or should I just like pack it up and not do it? Because if I need to pack it up and not do it, I'll just pack it up and not do it. But I need you guys to come back, because if you guys don't come back, then like, there's no point in me doing it. Yeah? Yeah? Okay. I got it, James. I appreciate it. All right, guys, we're going to get out of here. We're going to get out of here. Thank you all so much, guys. Thank you guys for all the taps, the gifts, the shares, the likes. Thank you for all the love and support. Thank you for engaging in the topic. I appreciate each and every one of you more than you'll ever know. I love you all. Guys, get some rest and drink some water and say something kind about yourself. I love you all. And as always...